What's up, Jack?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nerdcast. It is Devin, broadcasting as always live from an undisclosed location in the center of Texas on an incredibly tiring Wednesday evening. How's everybody doing out there? Just stopping by to see how you're doing. Yo, what's up, Bear? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing today? And Vince as well. What's up to you? How are you doing? Oh man, the winter, I guess it's not technically winter. Is it winter yet? I guess it's winter on the 22nd or the 21st. Whatever, the sun is setting at like 5 p.m. and it's starting to affect me now. I was tired all day, drowsy and dreary all day, feeling a little down all day. Not good. I'm not a big fan of winter just for that reason. I'm a summer kid. Like, I was born in June. I was born in south of Atlanta, Georgia. I was raised in a subtropical island in Japan. Like, I have only ever been comfortable with sun and heat. And it's not like, I mean, I'm in Texas, so it's not like I'm shoveling my driveway or anything, but even still, when the sun starts setting at like 5, it starts to affect me a little. I'm good. Fiance brought me home a barbacoa bowl from Chipotle, so doing great. I love Chipotle's barbacoa, but whenever I eat that, like I get a bowl, the burrito bowl, it instantly puts me on my ass. Like, if I had that for dinner tonight, I wouldn't be streaming right now. I would be like napping on the couch or already in bed for the night. But I do like their Chipotle, their barbacoa bowl. Hey, yo, what's up, Arachnid? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Oh man, the only way for me to work my way through this weird ass funk is I have to start working out regularly, which I tend to do that in the winter anyways, but it's harder for me where I'm at right now. At my old house, I used to have a punching bag in my garage. I had a garage and I had a punching bag in it. And my neighborhood was much more walkable. I could walk to the corner store, walk to wherever I need to get to, pharmacy. So I would go on walks. You know, I'd punch on the punching bag for like, 20, 30 minutes. And I'd go for a walk, and that was great. I don't have the space here for a punching bag, so I had to give my punching bag away. And my neighborhood is just out in the farmlands, so there's nothing really to walk to. But I've got to figure out a way to start working out regularly, or these winter months are gonna crush me. I'll be lurking. Lurk away. Thank you for stopping by. I don't really like. I think yesterday I said I may play Balatro tonight, and I might still do that. I was on the fence on whether or not I wanted to stream or not, but honestly, busy day at work. So I was kind of in and out of today's big news story today. I don't know if you guys have heard, but the CEO of United Healthcare got capped. He got run up on by some dude in New York. And honestly, I'll be real, I'm a little taken aback by, like, and I don't mean that in like I'm not saying that in like a bad or judgmental way. I guess I'm a little taken aback by the internet's broader reaction to it. Like, I have argued for years, whenever the debate about healthcare came up, either during a presidential election or a debate or whatever it might have been, and the subject of universal healthcare is countered by, Republicans or conservatives or anyone that's against it. One of the things they always say is Americans like their healthcare. And I always immediately go, no, Americans don't like their healthcare. They like their doctor. If they can go see a doctor regularly, they like that guy or girl. They like, their optometrist. They like their gastroenterologist. What they don't like is their health insurance companies. Like the entire system that they have to go through in order to, see a doctor. I mean, just getting into the door is a hard enough challenge for a lot of people. Because just getting insurance in and of itself can be a bit of a chore. If you get it through work, it's easier and a little cheaper. But if you have to get it solo, then, I think the Affordable Care Act exchanges make it a little easier. But those are still pretty expensive, paying out of pocket. And then you still have to deal with finding doctors in your network and shit like that. And especially if you live in a city like Austin, it's like so overpopulated here that, and I was talking to Justin about this a couple weeks back. Like, I don't have a regular GP that I see, because the last time I had one, I went and I saw him, and it was great. And then some months later, something popped up and I needed to go make an appointment to get it checked out. And they were like, okay, his soonest date to see you is like 2.5 months from now. I was like, I am in such uncomfortable pain that I can't wait for 2.5 months to figure out what's going on with me. Like, that's insane. So at that point, I just popped out my trusty ZocDoc. I wish I could get a ZocDoc sponsorship, because I would definitely be selling the hell out of that. ZocDoc, is my friend for that. Like, I look for any GP that has like the soonest appointment, and I just go to them. And then they get my records. I see them. Whatever needs to get checked out gets checked out. And then next time I have to have an appointment, I just look for the next available GP. Maybe it's the same person, maybe it's not. It's the only way to avoid having to wait for 2 months, for or more, to be seen in this city. So, that's a huge hurdle. And then once you actually do get in that process, then there's the whole who's in my network, who's not in my network. I mean, you could talk to Lulu. She needs to get her stream up and going. I need to help her with that. But like, there's this whole rigmarole, this whole outlandish system that just makes people, it just grinds people into like bone meal. And by the end of it, they have a huge bill, because either, they have to pay some exorbitant amount out of pocket. When I had my gallbladder surgery, I had insurance through my work, but my plan had like a $5,000 deductible. And the surgery itself was like a little over $3,000. And then I had to pay for whatever fucking reason, you got to pay the anesthesiologist a little extra, like they're all on separate on top of that. So like, I had ended up paying just shy of my $5,000 deductible, which bothered me. But at the same time, I was like, well, you know what? This goes towards my deductible. So, anything that I'm going to have to see, anything I'm going to have to do after this, at least it's going to be fully covered. So I at least got there. But then my work renegotiated their policy. And we didn't switch providers. I think at the time that was Blue Cross Blue Shield. We just switched like we tweaked a few things in our group, and basically that reset my deductible back to 5,000. So all of that money that I spent went towards nothing. Went towards nothing. And it was like, well, shit, I didn't have any say in that. Nobody asked me if I wanted to make tweaks on the group policy, because I would have said no. I already spent so many thousands towards my deductible, but I didn't have a choice in that matter. It was made for me and wasted all my money. So, you know, dealing with shit like that is why people deeply, deeply hate, you know, their insurance carriers, their insurance companies. I knew that, and I always say that, you know, during those debates, like, no, people don't like their doctors. I mean, people like their doctors. They don't like health insurance companies. Like, the doctor relationship won't change with single payer. What changes is you get rid of all of that shit that people absolutely hate. What I did not ever expect was the degree to which people will openly express their hatred for these companies, and in particularly the people at the top of these companies. And never was that made more clear to me than today. Bitter Americans react to the United Healthcare CEO's murder. My empathy is out of network. So like this was kind of like the lame, easy joke that most people were making all day. Like if you popped open TikTok and read any of the comments on any of the TikToks that were talking about it, everybody kept saying some version of this. My empathy is out of network. But it was a lot of comments. It was a lot. Like I was actually a little shocked, and like the veracity of them. Some of them got pretty fucking hardcore, you know, and I guess I'm not surprised that people have those feelings, but I guess maybe I'm surprised at the amount of ease that people feel to express this shit, you know? And if anything, that should be a signal to people that all is not okay in the USA. When the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, was killed in a targeted shooting Wednesday morning in New York, politicians from his home state of Minnesota posted sympathetic messages on social media, but those responses of support were soon drowned out by a very different tone as people shared horror stories of being denied coverage by their health insurance company and made morbid jokes comparing the CEO's death to the ways they've been mistreated by the U.S. healthcare system. A Facebook post by United Healthcare Group, oh man, they should have known better, honestly. They should have known better. I have a very, very, very small amount of sympathy for, you know, the people around this dude. His wife, if he has kids, his kids. Like, at the end of the day, a dude was killed. And that's rough. That's rough. And I feel sorry for them. That's a sad thing to have to go through, right? And when something like that happens, like, it shouldn't be a bad thing for a company that person worked at, you know, the company that they headed up. Shouldn't be a bad thing for them to post something like, oh, our deepest sadness for blah, 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 blah. But the fact that became like a honeypot for just some of the most vitriolic responses, again, you know, it's a signal. It should be a signal. It should be a warning sign that, you know, things aren't okay. Things aren't okay in a country that, you know, I was gonna say has like the most medical debt, but honestly, it's for first world countries, it's the only country that has medical debt. Every other country has single payer. They don't understand the concept of medical debt, you know, in the UK or Japan or stuff like that. So again, shocked but not shocked. In a Facebook post by United Health Group, the parent company of United Healthcare, said it was deeply saddened and shocked at the passage of our dear friend and colleague Brian Thompson, but that post has garnered over 11,000 laughing emojis. 11,000 laughing emojis. I guess it was 10,000 at the time of the screenshot. 11,000 laughing emojis as of the time of this writing, far outweighing the more somber emoji. And I like how we're analyzing this through the usage of emojis too. Like, is this a serious analysis, or I guess it's as serious as it's gonna get. But that post has garnered 11,000 laughing emojis as of this time, at the time of this writing, far outweighing the more somber emojis used to express condolences. Comments have been turned off for that post, but shares included comments like, "I would offer thoughts and prayers, but they are not covered as they are out of network." Yeah, that's another common one that people have been posting too. Like, empathy is out of network and thoughts and prayers are out of network. I don't think CEOs should make millions upon millions in bonuses, but I don't think they should be shot in broad daylight. Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, it would be nice to get to a point where this is like a part of the issue, right? Like, what are you supposed to do when you feel like your back is against the wall and every mechanism with which you rely on to survive, if you have like a health condition, or if your mother, your father, your brother, sister, your grandma, grandpa, whoever, if they have health conditions that you can't afford, that they can't afford, but you need it. Like, you need it. Like, and it's been this way for at least 60 years. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, what are you supposed to do when your back is against the wall? Like, I guess just sit there and take it while this dude is making millions upon millions hand over fist. And it's not just him, obviously. I mean, he's just, and that's a thing that needs to be conveyed here, is that this dude, Brian Thompson, it's very sad what happened, but he's representative. Like, a lot of people are using him as basically a representative of the big problem, both in American healthcare in general, but also just in the American economy in particular. Like, it's not about Brian Thompson the person; it's about Brian Thompson the idea, I guess, of a CEO of a company that basically is the judge, jury, and executioner of normal, everyday working Americans who might, end up, with kidney failure one day, or cancer of some sort, or whatever else it might be. Like, this is what this comes off as to me. Like, it's not about, and that actually also comes out in a lot of these posts too. I'll get to those in a bit. When I worked at Verizon, our CEO Ivan Seidenberg had yearly bonuses from 15 to 20 million. Oh yeah. I mean, that's just par for the course. You get your yearly bonuses, you get your signing bonuses, and you get your golden parachutes when you're retired or forced to retire, which is kind of crazy. Like, I was actually reading about how Brian Thompson, he has like a pension. And it's like, damn, that must be nice. Like, pensions used to be normal for working people, 30, 40, 50 years ago. But shit, nowadays, the only people who get pensions are police officers. Nobody else has a fucking pension. We got told to get 401ks, and they empty out every time every time Walmart, they empty out every time Wall Street crashes. So, again, he's representative of things that people don't like. Like, why does this CEO who makes $9 million a year or whatever, he gets a pension, but nobody else gets a pension? Like, it's tough shit, man. It's real tough shit, honestly. Like, what are you supposed to say to people? Like, people are the shooter. Nobody knows about this dude just yet. He's still on the loose, I think, last I saw. I mean, NYPD, with their fucking $6 billion police budget, larger than the military budget of Vietnam, they're sitting here asking people to help them. So they don't have a clue. They don't know where he is. People are hailing this dude as like a hero. Like, we're at the point where America is turning into like Gotham City levels of dystopia, And it's not the first time that's happened either. I posted that on Twitter earlier. Like, I remember when Chris Dorner was held as a hero. He was running around LA popping off cops and people were cheering for him. LA was like calling prank calls to 911 to like fuck with the cops that were doing a manhunt for him. Like, that guy was a folk hero. You know, that should have been your first sign right there. I mean, and that's a very localized issue, kind of, LAPD and their relationship with their community. Like, that tells you what their relationship with their community was like. But this is just kind of like a broader version of that. Hello, yo, what's up, Beltray? How you doing? Welcome back to the stream. That was straight up assassination. That guy definitely got paid a ton of money. The police will never see his face. He's gone from this. New York is probably another country now. A lot of people were speculating that too. They were speculating that he was a paid hitman, and I don't know about that. Like, I mean, he definitely knew what he was doing. He had the silencer. He knew how to unjam it, and you know, he flew in and out. He flew in and out and fucking. I did the deed with like expert precision. It actually looked. I don't know if you guys have ever watched. The original, not the Nick Cage version, but the original movie Bangkok Dangerous. If you haven't, look it up. I don't know, Vince, you may want to put that on your Plex. Hunt it down and put it on your Plex. Bangkok Dangerous. I think, if I can remember correctly, I think that movie starts off with like a CCTV footage of the main character who is a hitman, you know, doing a hit. And Bangkok Dangerous, like the Nick Cage version, was all glitz and glamour and Hollywoodized or whatever you want to say. But the original wasn't glamorized at all. It was a gritty ass movie. And the video of that dude at the beginning of that movie killing, I think he kills his target in a bathroom or something. The first thing that struck me watching that scene in that movie was how unglamorized it looked. You know, it's kind of like the difference between watching, like, you know, a street fight, you know, a video of a street fight and two dudes just scuffling and throwing punches, and watching like a choreographed kung fu fight in a movie. Like, they're very different vibes. And the grittiness of that Bangkok Dangerous scene kind of struck me, because it's like the first scene in the movie that's like, oh shit, you know, this wasn't like an action movie where, you know, the hero or anti-hero, you know, gets one over on his target. No, what I just watched was like a man get murdered. And I had the same, and obviously that's a movie and this is real life, but like the level and degree of like cold-bloodedness that the video shows kind of like gave me that same, oh shit, this is fucking for real. Maybe the guy was a hitman. I don't know. Like, he certainly covered the fuck up. No bodyguard is crazy, especially if you are a CEO of the company. Well, I mean, you know, most people don't know what CEOs of any company looks like. And this dude was at a meeting apparently talking about a potential merger. So, and he's in New York too. I mean, a bunch of people are in and out of New York. Like, what's the difference? You walk into Times Square and you walk into Rockefeller Center, you go to Trump Tower or whatever. You just walk around and you're used to it because it's New York. It's what you do. Like, I'm sure that a lot of CEOs right now, I bet you, if you own a bodyguard company anywhere near a major city, I bet your phone is ringing off the hook right now. Like, bodyguard, private security, all that shit. Those phone numbers are ringing off the hook right now. CNN said the shooter dropped a few clues. Good one. It was United Healthcare's annual earnings meeting or something. Okay, I had read somewhere that it was a meeting about a potential merger, but who knows? An Instagram post from the company was similarly locked down, stopping average users from commenting directly. But other posts on the platform also had scathing comments. On a post from last week, which discussed ways to manage holiday stress, commenters didn't hold back. Yeah, of course, I mean, it's the same thing. My empathy is out of network. Honestly, come on, guys. If you see 70 people all saying the same thing, just try to come up with something a little more unique. Sorry, but my insurance and Medicare don't cover thoughts and prayers. Judging by the public reaction, I think the bigger story should be why this doesn't happen more often. I did see a lot of this. There was a lot of like, this should have come sooner, or why isn't this happening more often, or I hope this is the beginning. Like, it's... And all of those posts, like, all of those posts... I mean, even look at this. I didn't even notice this one. Everyone that had a claim denied. Brian Thompson. I mean, 4K likes. 4K likes on that one. Look, I posted on this one. I don't even know if I've ever seen Twitter like this. Not even Henry Kissinger. Not even after Henry Kissinger died. She goes, my husband hasn't posted anything on the internet in years. He didn't even post photos of our wedding. And he posted this. Dead moron. 57K likes. I mean, Jesus, man. I mean, people are feeling a way about it. People are feeling a way about it. Blue Cross Blue Shield announced today that they're no longer covering anesthesia for for the full length of certain surgeries in Connecticut, New York, and Missouri. If a surgery exceeds a specific duration, anesthesia costs for the additional time will not be covered. They picked a hell of a day to come out with this one, man, because people... There was this one right here, someone who made a Dark Souls meme out of it. Like, usually when something like this happens and people start memeing, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever, it's a meme, you know, like or whatever. As this went on throughout the day, I continued to be taken aback by like the sheer volume, because it's nonstop. Usually, even with like Henry Kissinger dying, like there were memes and jokes. Dennis Prager, I don't even know if is that dude still in the hospital? When Dennis Prager was said to have been in the hospital and not doing in good health, yeah, there were memes and people were popping off about it, but like it died out after like a couple hours. But I mean, this shit is still going strong. I mean, yeah, it's still, I mean, all of these are like... And there was something about like... Oh, a lot of information is coming out about this dude too. Slain United Healthcare CEO was sued by a firefighter's pension fund in March for insider trading and fraud. The suit alleges he sold $15 million in company stock while failing to disclose a Department of Justice investigation into the company. I mean, obviously I can't free scroll on Twitter on stream because even though I'm looking at things tagged United Healthcare, it's Twitter, so you never know when a giant dick is just gonna pop up. I mean, what up? Yo, Catch on Kelly, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? He may be a despicable human being, but this is bad news for stability. Oh yeah. If we were playing King of the Castle, stability would be plummeting. Stability would be plummeting if this was King of the Castle. I mean, it might even be at can't go lower. Advocating for more of this is just advocating for anarchy. I mean, that's what people, we've reached the point where it's like nothing that anyone ever does changes people's lives for the better. Like, we keep doing this thing where we vote for the guy in the blue tie, we vote for the guy in the red tie, we vote for the guy in the blue hat, we vote for the guy in the red hat. You know, we vote for these Congress people, we vote for those senators, we vote for this, we vote for that. We have a ballot initiative to do this and a ballot initiative to do that. And things still only ever seem to go in one direction. So for people that are the most pressed, you know, what do you feel are your options? You know, I really would like to hear Lulu's. I haven't talked to Lulu today, but she's been dealing with this, with insurance shit for months on top of months. Like, she's been going through the fucking ringer. I can't imagine that she isn't right in line with a lot of these sentiments. Not for being like a villain or a bad person or anything. And I was trying to tell the people, like, yeah, it's not great, you know, to like cheerlead for a ruthless gangland style execution, right? It's not great to root for that, you know, but understand where the sentiment for wanting to root for that comes from. Like, things are not great. Things are not great. And anything, people are willing to grasp onto anything that looks like, you know, whether for better or worse, some kind of a change. Oh, this new chat seems active, considering clipping this moment for insert streamer is gonna get old. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Vince? Chat seems active, considering clipping this moment for... I don't know what that means. New thing on Twitch, seated on 4 or 5 channels today. Oh, okay. They're trying to, like, encourage people to clip. I saw you posted something in the Discord, too, about something related to Twitch, a Twitch feature that people may or may not have. I don't know if I have it or not. I'd have to look. But I didn't really look into that.
What's up, Jax?
Yo, what's up, Taco? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Apparently, he had other issues in 2021 as well. Shitter, all this does is put a new CEO in. Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna find a new guy to be the CEO. And it's not gonna, like, I don't think this is gonna change anything. I mean, but I don't think anyone that's like memeing about it, I don't think anybody that's memeing about it thinks it's gonna change anything either, though. I think it's just a release valve. Like, it's blowing off steam. It's, you know, can't change anything in my life, no matter how hard I try. Can't change anything in society, no matter how hard I vote. You know, but that fucking asshole, he got his, so I'm gonna meme about it all day. You know, I think that's what it is more than anything else. But I continue to be surprised by the veracity of it. Yeah, the watch streak feature isn't for all. It needs to be for any affiliate partner IMO. Watch streak. I need to see if I can enable that. We get notifications about the chat being active, and you should clip this with the timer countdown. Oh, interesting. Hello, it is me, and some dumb asshole in New York City got shot dead like a dipshit, but apparently we're supposed to care since he's rich. So anyways, I'm getting my brother 40k miniatures for Chrysler. Hey, welcome back to the stream, Toaster. How you doing? 40k miniatures. That's a pretty nice Chrysler gift. Some of those aren't cheap, I guess, depending on how many you get. That's another thing, is like, yeah, the guy's rich too, so of course NYPD are pulling out all the stops to try to catch him. Doing good, just got back from the airport not too long ago. Did you go somewhere, Taco? Look, whether this fixes anything or not, the monster had it coming, so I'm gonna take this fucking win, lol. I mean, that's the general consensus that I've seen, is serves you right. Anyways, what's going on, everyone? Like, that's pretty much the general consensus, like. And like I said this at the top of my covering this. For, like, his kids, if he has kids, or for his wife, you know, I extend some level of sympathy to them, because it sucks. I mean, it's still a dude getting murdered. Like, that sucks. I feel sorry for them for that. But that's pretty much the cap of where my empathy for this goes. I don't want society to devolve into, like, some fucking, you know, version of the Joker movie where everybody puts on clown makeup and starts running around killing people they think are worthy of execution. Like, that's definitely not where we need to take, our society. But it seems like it's just heading in that direction naturally by function of the fact that we are basically a failed state. Like we're a failed state that's just kind of going through the motions. It's like, when those it's like when an insect's dead but it doesn't know it's dead yet. It just has like muscle twitching, muscle spasms that keeps it doing like the things that it's used to doing or whatever. The chicken with the head cut off thing. Like that's kind of what it feels like American society is at this point, where it's like, oh, it's already dead, it just doesn't know it yet. And now we're starting to see it finally unravel. I posted what the new thing looks like on Discord just so you can see it. Had it pop up again like 4 or 5 minutes. Oh shit, it's spamming. 40K is an addiction. Yeah. Oh, where'd you go, Taco? I didn't know you were out somewhere. Damn, having a hard time hunting down OG Bangkok Dangerous. Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy movie to come across, but I mean, it's got to be out there somewhere. I don't give a flying fuck about the dude's family. I'm not gonna laugh at them, but I could not possibly care less about his ghoul of a wife if I tried. I don't know if his wife's a ghoul or not. I don't know anything about any of these people. The only thing I know about this guy is he was the CEO of a fucking health insurance company that is known for doing incredibly shitty things. So, no sympathy for him. Look, I don't want us to devolve into a Joker state where people are going around shooting the upper class, but the upper class has been going out of their way to push us to that for centuries. This is a thing that I've always said too when I'm talking to Justin about these kind of societal breakdowns. Like, peasant revolts happen all the time. It's actually kind of unique that it hasn't happened in America yet, but America is still a young country. It's only been around for a couple hundred years. If ever there was a country that was primed for a peasant revolt, it would be this one. I don't know if that's what this is. I don't know if we'll get to that state from here. And that's never a pretty thing. Most of the time, the overwhelming majority of the time, the people that take the brunt of the damage and destruction from a peasant revolt are the peasants. Very, very, very rarely does it ever work out for them in the end. Most of the time, it's just a one-sided slaughter. So I don't think that's something that, especially considering the super fucking hyper ultra militarization of every fucking local police department from sea to shining sea, I don't necessarily think that that's something that should be advocated for. But I feel like it's gotta happen. In the ever wise words of JFK, those who make a peaceful revolution impossible make a violent revolution inevitable. And I feel like we're about to, play that part out. We were picking up the in-laws and dropping them off at the hotel. Oh, nice. They want to hang around for a bit until the holidays. Oh, that's nice. Is the hotel anywhere close to your mountain cabin? Anyone married to a monster like that, I'm going to assume knew all about it and was totally fine with it. I visited your state a couple years ago. It's pretty this time of year, Taco. Colorado's always pretty. So is New Mexico, though, as I found out. Fiance has family out there. Yeah. Every day I look at the rich like, y'all know that peaceful protesting was the compromise the people made to stop dragging you out of your homes and curb stomp you to death, right? Why are you outlawing it? Comfort. Comfort in the knowledge that they do have the backing of a hyper-violent, super militarized police force in most instances. And that airport is massive. Our airport out here in St. Louis is essentially a shithole with nothing to see. Remember, they got drones and sound-based weapons. Oh, they've got all sorts. I'm sure they have more than that we just aren't aware of at the moment. I mean, one thing to keep in mind is a lot of police departments in America are trained by the IDF. Kettle and corral, which is what, police departments use to violently crack down on protest. That was something that the IDF developed to, control Palestinian protests. All the tactics that you see in Israel will eventually be imported into America. That's just how that goes. So, yeah. Fort Collins specifically, some great breweries like New Belgium and Odell's. Yeah, it's a lodge over at Evergreen. Oh, nice. United Healthcare insures 49 million Americans, and the company generated $281 billion in revenue last year, according to the Associated Press. The insurance giant is notorious for denying coverage. Now, here's the part. Here's the kicker. The insurance giant is notorious for denying coverage, deploying an artificial intelligence tool that has an error rate of roughly 90%, according to a lawsuit filed last year. They base their coverage denials on AI that has a 90% fail rate. And they know that it has a 90% fail rate, and they're okay with it because, the end of the day, the only thing they ever want to do is have an excuse to deny coverage. Again, nobody likes their health insurance company. Everybody just likes their doctor. There were also videos on Instagram making note of the fact that the United Health conference in Manhattan started on time at 8 a.m. Eastern, despite Thompson being killed around 6:45 a.m. Well, did they know? The conference was eventually stopped a little after 9 a.m., and some tweets on X outright celebrated the death of the CEO, with videos prompting the killer's fashion choices, or promoting the killer's fashion choices and backpack. Okay, so they just didn't know. They didn't know. They started the meeting and they were like, oh, the CEO's late. But the reactions weren't all gleeful. There were plenty of people who objected to celebrating a murder. Thompson reportedly had 2 children and a wife who told NBC that he had been getting death threats recently, possibly related to, quote, a lack of coverage. Well, that's another thing about all of this. I don't know if it is a very well-trained hitman who's already like in the Bahamas or whatever, then I guess we might not ever know. But if this is the work of like a disgruntled patient, I'm curious if we will ever see a manifesto of some sort. Like I'm curious about, and also the reaction to it. Like, I imagine that CEOs for other healthcare companies, CEOs for major multinational corporations in general, but particularly healthcare CEOs right now, are probably all hoping that a manifesto is never found. That this guy is either, killed in the heat of capture, or is never heard from again. Like, I think the last thing that they would want is for any kind of rationale, possible, what's the word I'm looking for? Word escaped my brain. Any kind of sympathizing rationale to be found that could help rally people to this guy's cause. For people who laughed at this post, shame on you. That family has lost a loved one, and yet you have to be a dick. Just remember, karma is a bitch. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these people think that this is the karma, honestly. That guy made billions of dollars denying people healthcare at a 90% clip. I mean, where's the karma? Which side is the karma aimed at here? The reactions feel like a significant shift in tone, in the tone of the country, however, However imperfect a barometer social media comments might be, normally trolling and sadistic glee over a person's death are relegated to the margins on extremist sites like 4chan or X ever since Elon Musk purchased the platform. But Wednesday's wave of anger and frustration at the healthcare system could be seen openly across the internet. Yeah, so it's not just me. It's not just me that was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. Like, it did blow up into like more than just fringe trolls making fun of a shithead dying. Like, I see that with Henry Kissinger and when Prager got sick. I don't know if he's still around or not, but when Prager got sick, I definitely saw that. Then this was different than that. The person who shot Brian Thompson is still at large. The NYPD is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction. But even that news made for another opportunity for people on social media to point out how they've been harmed by United Healthcare's policies. One user wrote on Blue Sky, Blue Sky. I haven't really looked at Blue Sky's reaction. I feel like it's probably going to be less unhinged than Twitter's. The reward out for this person who shot United Healthcare CEO isn't enough to cover 1/9 of the bill we got for 28 days of radiation. I mean, that's true. 10,000 is also kind of a paltry reward. If I was the family, I'd be insulted by that. Dude probably has more than 10 grand in his wallet. Just dig it out of his cadaver. I should drink less taco, but they do have non-alcoholic stuff. Oh, you guys are doing tourism exchange stuff. There's already people complaining about this clip notice on r/Twitch. This thread seems active. Consider clipping this moment. I'm adamantly against violence. I don't have sympathy for this guy, but I mean, I don't feel bad for him. I don't want anyone to die, but I don't feel bad that he did die. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at too. Like, I definitely don't have sympathy for the person. Apparently Twitch is having some kind of clip event. Should go away by the 13th. You probably made 10K an hour. That sounds about right. Hour of work for 10 grand. I mean, it's still going on very strong. I am Jesus. I wish all CEOs a very happy open season. Lord Almighty. 21K likes. I'm very curious about what the actual reaction. So like now that we know that, you know, the wanton execution of a man in broad daylight elicited this level of reaction because of what that man represents in American society, what he represents to American society. I'm very curious to see where this is going to develop from here. Healthcare CEO, let's fucking go. Oh boy. That only has 6K. Gotta get your numbers up on that one, buddy. Gotta get your numbers up on a 6K like. Yeah, he also ran off or he rode off on like a on an e-bike. Apropos of nothing, Mexico's female socialist president, Claudia Sheinbaum, has a 71% approval rating, 24% disapproval rating. There's something to think about there. Mexico was the only country to buck the trend of an incumbent president post-COVID inflation or an incumbent party, really. AMLO got termed out. But Claudia Sheinbaum was his chosen successor. And every other country, the incumbent party that was in power during post-COVID inflation, they all got voted out. Kamala included. Claudia Sheinbaum, she won overwhelmingly and has a 71% approval rating. Open and unapologetic socialist, although she also has been touting some pretty nationalistic tendencies here and there. But usually in response to like crazy racist shit that Canada or America has been saying about Mexico. Pittsburgh area steelworkers union leaders are upset with President-elect Trump's vow to block U.S. Steel Nippon deal. That selling U.S. steel to a Japanese Nippon Steel. One of them spoke at a Trump rally earlier this year, and he said Tuesday that Trump's statement felt like a gut punch. I mean, what can you do with these people, man? Yeah, there have been a lot of people that have been reposting some old post about issues that, oh my god. Aaron Rodgers has a documentary on Netflix coming out. I watched the trailer for this, and honestly, I have no idea what to make of it. Like, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I don't think I ever did. Even before people found out how much of a fucking weirdo he is. There was just something about him that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But watching this trailer, like, somehow this dude ended up being like the perfect convergence of like crunchy ass, living in the woods ass, anarchist hippie, and like just the worst conspiracy theory Latin right winger you've ever seen. And I know that there's been a lot of crossover in those demographics in a post-vaccine skeptic world, but it's just different with this dude. Something is definitely off kilter with him. I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. There's a morbid curiosity that makes me kind of want to watch it, but again, I don't like Aaron Rodgers, so I may just pick up the cliff notes later. Some people will probably think this will change something, that other CEOs will fall in line or pay the price. But the reality is they simply don't care. The world is getting wild. Yeah, that's my vibe too. I don't think they're gonna care. They're just gonna hire more security, more private security. The world is getting wild. Martial law in Korea, CEOs getting shot. The martial law thing was funny. Like, I woke up when it happened and it was like, Korea is under martial law, and I was like, oh, it's crazy. And I went to sleep again. And I woke up about like an hour later. It was like, martial law's over. I was like, what? They were in martial law for like an hour? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And apparently, you know, their parliament just got together and was like, they voted overwhelmingly, no martial law. And the guy was like, all right, I was just kidding anyways. So I don't know what's going on in Korea. They're on a whole other crazy ass trip. I can't help but believe the state of the world is to get worse in the coming times. Well, you know what they say. It's gotta get worse before it gets better. Only when it's darkest can you see the stars. You know, any one of those sorts of things to try to cope your way through the coming years. Man, things are getting crazy worldwide. Oh yeah, it's not good. Things aren't good right now. But this is what happens when you just have, like... What happened was, after the fall of the Soviet Union, the predominant opposition to fascists became liberals. But liberals and fascists have a lot in common, a lot more in common than they might want to think. They're willing to work with those guys. There's a lot of adjacent ideology, particularly when it comes to like the free market capitalism. So if all you have are fascists and liberals that are generally okay with fascists as long as they aren't using mean language, then eventually the mean language thing will even drop. You're not going to end up with a world in a good state because liberals are not good, is not a good defense against fascists. So now we have fascists everywhere. Like, they're all over the place. Only in like some parts of like the global south. You know, Lula in Brazil, Claudia Sheinbaum in Mexico, like, you know, Evo Morales for a time in Bolivia, but I don't know who, I can't remember who succeeded him. Only in some parts there do you get like anti-fascists, but you know, it's not a good state of things. It's not a good state of things. Trump is a bad guy. How shocking. The Green Bay Packers, which is weird because he's from NorCal and went to Cal Berkeley. Well, maybe some of that is the Berkeley coming off. I'm interested to see 50 Cent's documentary on Diddy. Is there a trailer for that? Did they ever put a trailer out for that one? Liberals are stupid. Yes, they are. And they're unhelpful. They're unhelpful in times of crisis. Wait, what? What? New killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson appears to have left a message on one of the bullet casings? Is this motherfucker the Riddler? I was just joking. I was joking when I said that we were devolving into a Gotham City of fucking psychopaths who get hailed as heroes and shit. I didn't think that we were actually gonna be in a fucking Gotham City where this Riddler ass motherfucker is leaving messages on bullet casings. What the fuck? What did it say? If you're reading this bullet, you're gay, lol. Did they say what the Oh. He wrote, deny, defend, and depose on the bullet casings. What the fuck does that mean? He really did leave some Riddler-ass message. Alright, this guy's a fuck... Okay. Who's gonna be Batman? Who's gonna be Batman? Is this Elon Musk time? He's the billionaire. He's a billionaire. He could afford to purchase himself a Kevlar suit, run out there and try to find this CEO killer. He's got the motivation to stop him. I'm just saying, he's got the motivation to stop him. Yeah, I saw the bullet thing on CNN. So probably not a hitman unless it's a crazy and passionate hitman. I mean, it could be that the hitman was given the bullets from the person that paid for the hit. If we really wanted to... Oh, Shinzo Abe. Shinzo Abe's trending. Now that was the funniest. That was the funniest because that guy just built a doohickey. That guy just built a doohickey to take him out. Can't show the video of that, of the actual hit. Damn. Okay, so this is getting weird now. Let's see. Became the CEO in April 2021. The company's based in a Minneapolis suburb. Spent more than 20 years rising through the ranks, which offers insurance to companies and individuals. I think my healthcare is through United, honestly. Received a total compensation of $10.2 million last year, with the $1 million in base pay augmented by substantial cash and stock grants. The company's profits rose on his watch, jumping to more than $16 billion last year from $12 billion in 2021. But amid the growth, the company and its parent also attracted scrutiny from lawmakers and regulators who accused them of systematically refusing to authorize healthcare procedures and treatments. United Health Group's size and scope have attracted the attention of the Justice Department, which has been examining whether it has engaged in anti-competitive behavior. Hint, yes. If you're a part of an industry in which there are only 5 or 6 mega giants that control the overwhelming lion's share of business, then you're probably engaging in unfair anti-competitive behavior. According to regulatory filings, Mr. Thompson owned about 20 million of United Health Group shares as of late September. Bloomberg reported in April that he was one of several company executives who sold shares before the Justice Department antitrust investigation was disclosed to investors. About 15 million worth in Thompson's case. The company told Bloomberg at the time that the sales had been approved. Shady. Before joining United Healthcare, Mr. Thompson spent nearly 7 years at the accounting and consulting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers, now known as PwC. Why was he in Manhattan? The shooting occurred as Mr. Thompson arrived early at the hotel to prepare for a United Healthcare Investors Day gathering. Such events, which are common for publicly traded companies, give major shareholders and analysts who track the companies a chance to hear from executives and pepper them with questions. Okay, so the news of a merger, unless a merger was something that was brought up during this meeting, I don't know. The New York Hilton Midtown, one of New York City's largest hotels, is a busy tourist area close to the Museum of Modern Art in Rockefeller Center, where the famous Christmas tree was scheduled to be lit Wednesday night. Well, I'm guessing deny coverage, defend your reasonings, and then depose because, well, he was deposed as a CEO now? Just my guess. Maybe. That Justice Never Sleeps Dunmar from Morrowind will be the new Batman. I'm watching you, scum. A laser pistol from Fallout. No, he had like the pipe. He built like the pipe gun, the pipe rifle from Fallout. Guessing Eden Prairie, almost everything in Minneapolis goes through there, including the Vikings. You know a lot about Minneapolis. The killer, according to images released by the police and a security camera footage, was a man wearing a dark hooded jacket, a gray backpack, and a mask covering the bottom of his face. Apparently knowing which door Mr. Thompson planned to enter, the shooter arrived outside the hotel about 10 minutes before his intended target and ignored passerbys as he lay in wait. As Mr. Thompson in a blue suit walked towards the hotel entrance, hold on a second. I feel like I should be playing more, what are you doing? Play. Okay. Apparently knowing which door Mr. Thompson planned to enter, the shooter arrived outside the hotel about 10 minutes before his intended target and ignored passerbys as he lay in wait. As Mr. Thompson, in a blue suit, walked towards the hotel entrance, the shooter approached him from behind and fired at least 3 shots with a pistol that appeared to be fitted with a silencer. The pistol jammed during the shooting, but the gunman cleared the jam and quickly continued firing. Struck by the bullets, Mr. Thompson took several steps, turned to face his assailant, and then collapsed on the sidewalk. With his victim crumpled against a wall, the shooter walked towards him slowly. He seemed to point the gun at Mr. Thompson one more time, then walked away. He began to run only as he was crossing the street. Where does the investigation stand? The police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, who was sworn on the job just 10 days ago, damn, well, welcome to the fucking force, said her department would, quote, not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case. Officers recovered a cell phone near the shooting site, and detectives were conducting a forensic analysis to see whether it was linked to the killing, the police said. Investigators were also expected to comb through footage of the many security cameras on the surrounding blocks that might offer leads as to where the shooter came from and where he went, as well as possible images of his face. One place he apparently stopped before the shooting was a nearby Starbucks on 6th Avenue. Several images released by the police from inside the coffee shop showed what appeared to be a man dressed in the same way as the shooter. The attacker's means of escape could also offer clues. City bike riders must use a debit or credit card to unlock a bike, and the dock locations at times which the bikes were removed and returned are also recorded. Investigators were also examining Mr. Thompson's background for signs of possible motive. Now, I will say the first thing I thought of when this was reported was, oh, he probably cheated on someone and, you know, a jilted lover got their revenge, which happened to another executive. That happened to a Silicon Valley executive not too long ago. I feel like, I can't remember who, but I feel like I saw that in the news like maybe a year ago or so. Yeah. Bob Lee's murder shook San Francisco. What really happened? Cash App, that's what it was. Cash App exec Bob Lee and the tech consultant Nima Momeni came together in the new startup scene. Then Lee's tragic killing slid both of their lives under a public microscope. So yeah, I think that was what happened with this guy. So let me see. Contrary to assumptions blasted across the internet, the defendant was not a robber nor a vagrant, but a fellow member of the local tech industry, Nima Momeni, a 38-year-old who ran an IT consultant firm and knew Lee. As details of prosecutors' allegations emerged over the following days, the story suddenly flipped from a cautionary tale reflecting San Francisco's so-called doom loop to a sordid scandal that exposed the excesses of the fast-living tech seed, a parable of the pitfalls of indulgent drug use and loose sexual morals. Jesus. Cotton Mather's write this? And a dark turning point in a once soaring industry, now stumbling through layoffs, scams, delusions, etc., etc. So yeah, that's what happened with this guy. It was like an affair that, you know, that dude got his revenge over. And that's literally what I thought was going to happen, was going to be the case with this dude. Which, I mean, it still might be. We don't know yet. He had recently received several threats, according to a law enforcement officer familiar with the investigation. The source and precise nature of the threats was unclear. In today's day and age, that's kind of a terrifying thing. Like, in today's day and age, like, death threats on the internet and shit is just as common can be. You know, that's nothing new. So the fact that it actually seemed to have, in this case, manifested in an actual very public death is going to put a lot of that shit into a new light for a lot of public people. My biggest fear, this is my biggest fear with all of this. My biggest fear with all of this is that if this isn't just a one-off, like if there are copycats or anything else that happens along these lines to other very prominent public figures, my fear is that an incoming Trump administration is going to use this as an opportunity to call for martial law. When you saw what happened in South Korea and their failed martial law attempt, the reason that failed is because, you know, Yoon, the prime minister there, did nothing to secure alliances from members of the parliament and from military leaders to back them up. You need that. It reminded me of what happened in Ukraine when that mercenary, the leader of that mercenary group, suddenly turned around his units and started like marching on Moscow. And, you know, everybody at the time was like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on here? You know, and I think that guy thought that he had some support and some backup that he didn't end up having, you know, when push came to shove. And very quickly, once he realized, what was that dude's name? Was he the Yevgeny Prigozhin? I think that was his name. Yeah, he died in a quote-unquote plane crash. Yeah, this dude. I wonder if the June 2023 rebellion, Wagner Group, that's what it was. In mid-June 2023, the Ministry of Defense ordered Wagner to sign contracts with the military before 1st of July. This move would have effectively integrated Wagner as a subordinate under unit with the regular command structure, etc., etc., etc. On June 23rd, I wish I could pronounce his name, Prigozhin, or whatever, claimed that the regular Russian army forces had launched a missile strike against Wagner forces, killing a huge number. He called for a response, stating the Council of Commanders of the PMC Wagner has made a decision that the evil military leadership of the country must be stopped. Prigozhin, that's what I think it's pronounced. I think it's pronounced Prigozhin. Prigozhin declared that the start of an armed conflict against the Ministry of Defense in a message posted on his press service's Telegram channel. He called upon individuals interested in joining the conflict against the ministry, portraying the rebellion as a response to the alleged strike on his men. Let's see. During the early morning of 24, Wagner forces crossed into Russia's Rostov Oblast from Luhansk, encountering no apparent opposition. In response, criminal charges were filed against Prigozhin by the Federal Security Service for inciting an armed rebellion. PM said Wagner proceeded to capture the Russian city of Rostov-on-Don, and began advancing on Moscow. During the scuffle, Wagner shot down. Yeah, so there was some shit. In response, Prigozhin said Russia's president was mistaken. Wagner fighters are patriots, not traitors. We have been fighting, blah, blah, blah. There was some back and forth. Let's see. I'm trying to see when he ended it. Despite declaring the justifications used to launch the war against Ukraine were based on falsehoods, Prigozhin still continued to support the war efforts, although calling for waging war more effectively. Prigozhin allegedly made personal efforts to establish contact with presidential administration on the afternoon of 24th of June, 2023, including reaching out to Putin himself, who refused to speak with him. Final negotiations reportedly conducted by Anton Vino, the chief of staff, names I can't pronounce, the Security Council, well, all those guys. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko reportedly spoke with Prigozhin upon Putin's request, acting as a mediator to broker a settlement. Charges were dropped and Wagner ceased its march on Moscow. So they needed Lukashenko to mediate a ceasefire. As part of the agreement, Prigozhin moved to Belarus and Wagner troops were slated to return to Ukraine, but those plans were canceled in the wake of Wagner's refusal to sign military contracts. Despite his charges being dropped, Prigozhin remained under investigation for treason. So yeah, he tried to rebel and nobody joined him, so he ended up having to basically beg forgiveness. And he tried to reach out to Putin, but Putin was like, "I'm done with you, bitch." And he had to mediate it through Lukashenko. But then, of course, shortly after, only a few months later, his plane mysteriously crashed. Anyways, another example of an attempted military coup that did not have proper backing before its initiation and ended up failing, much like the Korean one that happened just a couple days ago. That's my biggest fear with this Brian Thompson and maybe possible copycats, is that if that shit pops off, if there actually does become like a rash of copycat attacks against business leaders or other prominent public figures, I feel like Trump would have that support. He would have virtually the support of every Republican in the Senate and House, probably a good chunk of Democrats too. As far as military leaders, who knows? Big question mark there. He's still trying to put psychopaths in charge of the DOD, so I doubt he'd get a lot of resistance. I mean, Project 2025 was all about reconfiguring the government to have the least amount of resistance possible to whatever crazy thing you want to do. So, should he get his way there? That is my big fear, is that this is the starting point for an excuse to do something like that. All right, thank you, Phoenix Wright. I appreciate your service. You are dismissed. Let's see. Oh yeah, especially since he's been shot. Prigozhin, yo, Vector408, welcome back to the stream. How you doing tonight? Prigozhin made it a lot further than he should have if he didn't have any support. Yeah, I mean, well, it helps to have your own military, basically. It helps to have your own paramilitary force. If Yoon in South Korea had that much, he probably would have gotten a little bit further too. But as it stands, as just a leader who was oddly at the mercy of the voting parliament, he didn't have that juice. He didn't have that gas. He was politically a very popular figure and was becoming a threat to Putin's influence. Yeah, and he was feeling it too. I imagine that's exactly why he made the calculus that, hey, people have my back. I'm a popular dude. I can do this. People will join me. Putin's not popular right now. He's waging a very unpopular war that's, turning out to be very costly You know, I think I have the ability to do this, but Putin is Putin, you know, and people weren't willing to cross that Rubicon. You see, the commissioner of the Big 12 is upset they may not have a playoff team, saying it's unfair that Boise State only played one Power 4 team, which was Oregon. Boise lost by 3, its only loss. Big 12, who is in the... Wait, Ohio, I don't even know anything about how the Big 12 was performing this year. What, Ohio State sucks? I know Michigan sucks. After they lost a bunch of talent plus Harbaugh. His Wagner troops were far more battle-hardened, trained, and equipped than Russian forces defending Moscow, but that was a part of the issue. So expensive, he couldn't get more quick enough. His mistake was flying back to Russian the way he did instead of staying in Belarus or going to Africa like he was hinting at doing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If I was the dude, I would be somewhere in South America right now, or New Zealand, or fucking Fiji. I would pinpoint the furthest place away from Russia and just hang out there. Ohio State is in the Big 10. Oh, Big 12, Big 12, Big 12. Oh yeah, the Big 12 sucks. The Big 12 sucks. I mean, they have OU, but no, wait, OU's not even there anymore. Wait, who is in the Big fucking 12? Arizona State, BYU, Baylor, Colorado, Houston, Iowa, Kansas State, OSU, TCU, Texas Tech. Are any of these any good? I mean, sometimes OSU is good. Sometimes OSU is good. 3-9? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, they fucking suck. What about K-State? 8-4? 4 losses aren't going to do you any favors. Texas Tech, 8-4. UCF, sometimes they surprise. 4-8? Oh my God. The Utes? What are the Utes? 5-7? This entire conference is garbage. 6-6? Is it just BYU? Or just Boise, rather? No, BYU is 10-2. They're 18. Yeah, it's a 12-team playoff, so... You know, there are at least 12 other teams that are... Or there are at least 17 other teams that are ranked as better than you. He wouldn't have been safe anywhere he went, but he was a walking dead man staying anywhere in the EU or Asia anyways. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, sure, maybe they would have gotten to him in Fiji, but I feel like it probably would have been more obvious that it was coming. if you're like the only Russian dude in Fiji, and then suddenly there's another Russian guy there, you probably could guess what's about to come your way. Oops, what about TCU? What are these dudes doing? Oh, they're 8-4 too. Yeah, sucks to suck, BYU. I don't know what to tell you. What a miserable conference. I never liked... Oh, they're 10-2 also. Arizona State. Well, they're knocking at the door. I never liked them. Even when UT... The only time I liked the Big 12 was when Nebraska was there, Texas A&M, OU, when those teams were there. Was Colorado, were the Buffaloes a part of the Big 12 at some point? That was the only time I cared for that conference. And, you know, that was watching that primarily in the Vince Young / Colt McCoy days, so I had a reason. And you know, the other teams were pretty good too. I mean, Nebraska was always fun to watch. I don't even know where Nebraska's at anymore. I'm missing a couple. Utah as well. Boise in the Mountain West. Missouri was in the Big 12 back then. Yeah, Mizzou before they went to the SEC. I just snuck up behind an Italian plumber and bashed him over the head with a lead pipe, then broke his neck. Then I found out his brother. I found who his brother was. Also an Italian plumber. Wait, what? Did you just admit to murdering Mario and Luigi? Nebraska's in the Big 10. Illinois. Sometimes they're okay. 9-3, huh? Ranked 21. Hoosiers, Iowa Hawkeye. Sometimes they're okay too. 8-4. Maryland, Michigan State. 5-7. Oh, they fell off too. Michigan sucks. Minnesota Golden Gophers. 7-5. They suck. Nebraska hasn't been good in decades. It feels like. Northwestern, they're not very good. Nope, they still suck. Ohio State, I guess they're having a fall off year. No, they're good. 10-2. Okay, Buckeyes. They're in. Oregon Ducks, how are they doing? Oregon is ranked 1? I haven't been paying attention to Oregon at all. I haven't been paying attention to Oregon at all. What the fuck? Idaho, Boise, Oregon, UCLA, Michigan State, Ohio State, Purdue, Illinois, Michigan, Maryland, Wisconsin, Washington. Now they're playing number 3 Penn State. Man, these are... What are the, hold on a second. What are the, Oregon, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame. Ironically, if Texas hadn't moved to the SEC, this would be like the first time in a long time that an SEC team wasn't represented in the top 4. Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, SMU. Yeah, they're making a comeback. They're making a comeback into like the big leagues. Well, it's weird. This is weird to see. The last time I paid attention to college football rankings, it wasn't as scattershot as this. It was mostly SEC and Big 12 teams, and a couple of Big 10 scattered here and there, and a couple of Pac-12s. I guess the Pac-12 isn't a thing for now. I did. Luigi was first to go. Poor Luigi. Oh, man. Well, that's all I want to cover about that crazy ass shooting. Oh yeah, then I saw this too. This is a play on the Shinzo Abe memes. So even Blue Sky is noticeably less unhinged than Twitter, but you still got some people over here that are memeing about it. Not nearly as many though. Not nearly as many. Like the fact that I've been scrolling for this long. Don't speak ill of the dead. Don't be a piece of shit while you're alive. That's the general sentiment. That's the general sentiment. Boise State's running back is 12 games. In 12 games, has over 22,000 or 2,200 rushing yards. Damn. His legs are going to be fucking noodles in the offseason. All right, I kind of want to watch this video, so I'm going to give this a watch. I want to see what they have to say. I want to see what IGN has to say about AAA, the AAA gaming bubble.
The video game industry is currently in the thralls of a paradox. For players, it could be argued we're in one of the greatest times for gaming. There's incredible breadth of choice across consoles, handhelds, and PCs made ever more accessible through gaming subscription services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. But from an industry perspective, things could not be more dire. More and more studios seem to be closing, original IPs are being scrapped mid-development, and vast legions of game developers, programmers, artists, and animators have been cut loose. To put it simply, the AAA video game bubble has finally burst.
I don't know if that's true or not,
Across
but we'll see. We'll see what they have to say.
23,000 jobs in the video game industry were lost, with a staggering 6,000 in January 2024 alone. Over 30 video game development studios have ceased operations, including Arcane Austin, Volition, and most recently Firewalk Studios. What's worse is this trend only shows signs of continuing rather than diminishing. So how did we get here? Well, some analysts have concluded these closures and redundancies are a necessary remedy to companies having overextended themselves in response to inflated demand in the market during the COVID-19 pandemic. While that's undeniably a factor, that's just one of many issues that have been gestating for years within the AAA project bubble. Just 5 years ago, AAA projects' average budget ranged from $50 to $150 million. Today, the minimum average is $200 million. Call of Duty's new benchmark is $300 million, with Activision admitting in the Competition and Market Authority's report on AAA development that it now takes the efforts of 1.5.
We have to make so much content for Call of Duty that we can't even lean on one lead studio anymore. And that hasn't been the case for a while. I used to work at a company that did a lot of code development for a bunch of... that's where I got this hat. Like, I'm wearing a Fortnite hat because I worked on Fortnite despite never playing the game. Like, that's just par for the course now. This was like 2015, 2016, maybe 2017, actually. But, yeah, that's nothing new. Activision were quoted saying in the report, now we need almost 1.5 lead studios for each annual Call of Duty. That kind of bandwidth pressure is forcing us to outuse outsourcers more and more. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Studios just to complete the annual Call of Duty title. But it's far from just Call of Duty facing ballooning costs. In the same CMA report, an anonymous publisher admits that development costs for one of its franchises reached $660 million, with $550 million of marketing costs on top, which makes it a $1.2 billion game. To put that into perspective, Minecraft, the world's best-selling video game of all time, only broke $3 billion last year, and keep in mind that's what it made since it launched way back in 2011. The realities of these budgets mean entire publishing houses are massively overstretched and are now desperately facing the consequences. If their developers' huge projects don't make money immediately, they gotta go. Sega's sci-fi shooter super game Hyenas...
The funny thing is, like, they deliberately adapted this strategy. Like, I remember being in the meeting at BioWare when we were trying to develop a mid-range budget game so that we didn't have to get faced with like a sell 10 million copies or get burned at the stake for failing kind of situation. Like, the whole idea was mid-range budget. We can sell a mid-range amount of copies. We could be okay, not have to lay people off, rotate people onto other projects, keep people employed, keep budgets under control, keep, all of that shit under control. But they ended up canceling that game, and the reason why they canceled it, they stated it. Their directive going forward was they only wanted to develop and release AAA blockbuster titles. They wanted home runs. They wanted to invest the kind of money that they needed to invest in a big blockbuster home run so that they could sell as many copies as possible. And, that just turns it into an arms race. Like, this is just an arms race, and we're reaching the inevitable conclusion of an arms race. Like, the arms race between America and the Soviet Union ended with the Soviet Union, for many other reasons also, but, going bankrupt because they were spending all their money trying to keep up with America.
Was in development at Creative Assembly for 7 years, and just as it was publicly playable for the first time via alpha testing, it was promptly canceled. The reason? Sega preemptively concluded that Hyenas couldn't make its money back. Blizzard survived.
The interesting thing about, like, So
Rival project Odyssey had a similar trajectory. Odyssey would have
okay,
been
this is
the
a
studio's
survival
first
game,
new IP
but
in
it looks very similar visually to like Fortnite. A lot of the games that are like failing, they're all just like live service games, and they're just slightly different variations of hero shooters and live service games. I feel like we're also reaching a moment where the appeal for that market is starting to go on a downturn. It reminds me a lot of like MMOs, because when I got into the game industry, I saw what happened to the MMO market. Like MMOs were popular, but still kind of a niche thing when Ultima Online and EverQuest came out. You know, you could make those games relatively reasonably, and people loved them and people would play them, but they weren't like the mainstream. It didn't get into the mainstream until World of Warcraft in 2004. And after that, everyone and their grandma wanted to make an MMO. Everyone was making MMOs. It was annoying to me because I don't like MMOs, but every company that I can get a job at, we're all making them. So I saw MMOs at the start of their popularity. I saw it peak, reach the absolute zenith. And then when somewhere around 2011, maybe 2012, it plateaued. It started to plateau. And then shortly after, it starts to dip off in popularity. And I was working at BioWare on Star Wars The Old Republic, another MMO, right at the middle part of that plateauing. At that point, NCSoft released an MMO called WildStar. Now, I remember WildStar from when I worked at NCSoft back in 2009. Right before they laid us all off, we all got our hands on a very early, like pre-alpha copy of WildStar so we could see what the studio and Carbine was up to. And it was just like just an internal demo for, you know, NCSoft employees to play so we could see what's coming. And it was cool. It seemed fine. It seemed interesting. But that was in 2009. And at that point, the game had probably been secretly in development for maybe a year. By the time it gets released in like 2014, it's like the MMO landscape changed dramatically. Like there were so many other MMOs that came out and either kind of succeeded or just flat out flopped. You know, like Star Wars The Old Republic started off pretty strong, then it got into like a really dire state where we had to rescue it. We had to rescue that game and do an emergency conversion from a monthly subscription model to a free-to-play with microtransaction model. And that did save the game. Like it's still an active game now, but there was a close period of time where we thought it was going to get canceled. We thought it was going to get killed. By the time WildStar came out, like the party for MMOs, you know, was mostly over. You know, there's still some here and there. I mean, you know, Elder Scrolls Online, people still play that. Some of the Japanese ones people still play, but it's incredibly difficult to release a successful MMO right now because A, the market got oversaturated with a bunch of garbage, but B, it just takes way too fucking long to make those games. And that's kind of the problem that I think a lot of these live service games are starting to bump up against, is an incredible glut of mediocre games that kind of pollute the field. And then also just an incredible amount of time and resources that you have to dedicate towards getting a game to that state, getting a game out the door. Devin Gameco is going to make Daggerfall 3, which is why EVE Online going into its 22nd year is crazy to me. I mean, people are still playing like EverQuest and Ultima Online and shit. Like the classics, I don't think will ever die. I don't think the classics are ever going to die. Yo, Squishy Cannon, welcome back to the stream. Have you played Cult of the Lamb? Not tonight. Not tonight. What time is it? I guess I could probably play a little before I head out for the evening, but I'm gonna finish watching this real quick.
8 years, and given the market's love for games like Minecraft and Rust, such a gaming titan should have undoubtedly made waves with this project. When Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard,
Another genre this reminds me of is the MOBA genre, because when I was at BioWare, EA was making a MOBA. I believe it was called Dawnstar, and this was supposed to be like, oh, we're gonna compete with League of Legends, or which was it, League of Legends at the time? I can't remember, but they were trying to get their feet in on the MOBA craze, and they devoted an incredible amount of resources into that game, and they got it pretty much to the finish line. Like, they developed that thing right up to the point where we were doing beta testing, and they were about to release it to the public, and then at the very last minute they decided, you know what, we're not going to do this. This game's canceled. I'd never understood that one. Was it called Dawngate? Dawngate is a multiplayer online battle arena game developed by Waystone Games and published by EA. It was meant to be a free-to-play game, likely to be supported by microtransactions. News about the game began to leak during early to mid-April 2013 with few details on mechanics, gameplay, or other elements. Testing period began on May 24th, 2013, and the community beta was released on April 9th, 2014. The open beta was released on May 19, 2014. On November 4, 2014, it was announced that because the beta was not shaping up as they had hoped, all development would stop, and the game would be fully shut down in 90 days. In 2015, it became a registered trademark of EA. Weird. In June 2020, a development team of fans reached out to EA in a means to acquire the rights to the name to release their fan remake. A Kickstarter was set up as a means of gathering parts of the funds required to obtain the rights and bring it back to life. Despite successfully raising the sought-after funds, the project was abandoned when the cost to acquire the IP was determined to be prohibitively high. That's another thing, companies that just sit on their IP. They have all of this this incredible properties that they could be making use of, but instead it's worth more to them, I guess, to just sit on it.
Blizzard, though, the project was swiftly killed with little reason publicly given beyond inconveniences in switching engines to increase player count on the servers. These examples of the current AAA publishing cull reflect a deep-rooted fear to engage with anything new and original, publishers perhaps more risk-averse than ever to stray out of their established IP safety bars. But even well-known IP that could be worth millions in sales and revenue is being left to rot. Despite owning Infamous,
what
Jack
I just
and
said.
Daxter, Killzone, Resistance, and Sly
Jack
Cooper,
and
to name a
Daxter.
few entries in PlayStation's sprawling dormant library, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki recently claimed the company lacks enough original IP to consolidate itself as a true gaming powerhouse.
Yeah, you talking to him?
What Totoki may mean is that Sony's older catalog of library
They also own Bloodborne, which they're not doing anything with. Like, they do have all of this incredible IP plus also Bloodborne, but they're still bitching about not having IP.
IP does not fit the mold of what every publisher has been mindlessly chasing for the better part of the decade, the next big live service money printer. It's difficult to imagine much fanfare for a Sly Cooper reboot where Bentley and Murray are purchased to play, grand heists or season pass bonuses, and worlds are delivered half-baked instead of fully formed. It's undeniable that on some level the video game market has changed forever because of this live service model. New video games don't just have to compete with new rivals, but somehow find space in an increasingly crowded market dominated by decade-old titles like Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto Online, games which will continue to hold higher player counts than many of the best sellers of the last few years. But live service titles require investment of not just money, but also time to find their audience, neither of which was afforded to Firewalk Studios Concord. The crew of Concord's North Star will never fly again. The recent fate of Concord's Firewalk Studios serves as a microcosm for the increasingly bleak outlook for the next few years in video game development. Concord was Firewalk's first game, its baby in many ways, an 8-year development bolstered by a Sony acquisition and a reported cash injection of $200+ million. PlayStation reportedly believed it had the next.
I feel like the only way to get around all of this, I don't know. I think about this a lot. Like, what is it going to take to continue to make AAA blockbuster games, but with like keeping your budget under control? Part of the problem why these games tend to be so expensive is because it takes a long time to make them, and it takes a lot of people to make them, and a lot of those people, that's a lot of wages to maintain over a long period of time. We're talking about like 5 or 6 years and shit, right? And a lot can change in 5 to 6 years, especially when you're constantly iterating over systems and mechanics. Now, you hear a lot about movies having these kinds of budgets. Sometimes, I mean, the budgets for some of these games are exceeding blockbuster films now. But you'll have $150 million Sony film here, or 200 million. Oh, by the way, what was Kraven the Hunter's budget? That's the next big flop that it's gonna be funny to watch happen. I saw a trailer for that and was like, oh, we're really doing this, huh? We're really doing Kraven the Hunter. But you'll see a lot of those budgets for Hollywood, and it's like, okay, $130 million budget for Kraven, which is insane. But it takes like a few months to make that movie. You got a couple of months of filming, and then you're in post-production for maybe 5 or 6 months. And that's really the gist of it. Like, yeah, you have some build-up for pre-production and whatnot, casting, and that takes a while. But from the second that, like, you have your cast set and you start, you have your script written, you have your cast set, all your checks for all of your cast and crew are lined up from the moment that you set foot on the first day of shooting until the time you get your final cut. We're talking about maybe a year and a half at the most, depending. I mean, I guess maybe Lord of the Rings, it took a little longer than that. They shot it all sequentially, but for the most part, it's like a year and a half. You're building out a blockbuster AAA game. It's going to take you more than a year and a half. Some of these games are 5 or 6 years in development or more. I mean, Elder Scrolls is, 2018 was when they announced that teaser. That's seven years ago, almost at this point. And how long was it in development before that teaser? Like, that game and Grand Theft Auto 6, they've already said Grand Theft Auto 6's budget is about $1 billion, which is fucking insane. It is insane. Like, the more it heads in this direction, the more unsustainable it's going to end up ultimately being. The only way that a lot of these companies end up surviving is through consolidation. Like, they need a Microsoft or someone to buy them up. I feel like the only way to really combat this, as much as painful as it might be for me to actually say this, there's going to have to be some kind of very controlled usage of AI in order to try to replicate the workload that some subset of people required to do a lot of this work, do. Like, I don't know what that ends up looking like. I mean, I know that there's a lot. I mean, I've seen a good portion of it from the inside. There's definitely some stuff that can be offloaded to AI that doesn't result in someone losing their job. But it's just, you just have to get faster. You have to get to market faster. You have to be able to iterate and play test faster. And, like, as far as, like, I mean, I want people to continue to, earn their worth. I'm all for unionization. I'm all for, and I guess maybe a part of it also is managing expectations. Part of what made Hi-Fi Rush such, like, a surprise hit was the fact that it came out with very small, limited expectations, because nobody knew what the fuck it was before it dropped. If they had built that up like it was some kind of a blockbuster game, maybe the expectations would have been different. But I don't know. I mean, that didn't seem to save that studio either. I just feel it feels like we are at an impasse. I don't know if the bubble has burst the way that the title of this video claims. I think the bubble is still very much intact, but it's got to burst soon.
Next Star Wars-esque franchise on its hands, but the game struggled significantly across both its beta testing period.
That was another thing that bothered me when they say that they felt like oh man, I can't even remember the name of the damn game.
Ported cash inject its blatantly bleak out again, forwarded to Firewalk Studios Concord.
The
crew of Concord's North Star will never.
When they said Concord was they were saying internally that it was going to be like Star Wars. The level of arrogance, of hubris, of delusion, whatever combination of those things you have to be like huffing in order to think that your property, whatever your property might be, is going to be the next Star Wars, that should have been your sign that maybe something's wrong here. Maybe we aren't the best people to judge whether what we have is worthy of the moment or not. It really reminded me again. I was at BioWare. It was shortly before we launched Star Wars: The Old Republic. I remember it was like maybe a week before launch, and I remember I was in the infrastructure pit, and there were several producers in there. I was in there. It was like a Friday, so people were drinking, and they were looking at charts and coming up with like they were trying to. I think they were betting. They were making bets on how many units the game would sell in the first 24 hours, and how many active subscribers we would end up getting out of those purchases. And some of the numbers that these people, and I'm talking about like, leadership, part of the leadership of the studio, some of the numbers they were throwing out were fucking insane, like insane estimates. And I remember thinking like, are these people for real? They really, I know it's Star Wars. And at that time, like, you have to understand that a lot of leadership in these companies, producers, executives, studio managers, GMs and whatnot, when they end up having this sort of like cult-like vision of their product where, there are no warts, its shit doesn't stink, and like they just have this high-minded idea of what it's going to be, like, oh, this is going to be like Star Wars. A lot of that comes from the fact that they have to, very routinely, either every milestone or quarterly or however it might be set up, they have to communicate to a board of directors, investors, or the CC suite, whoever, Andrew Wilson, the CEO of EA, or whoever the CEO of Microsoft might be at the time. I can't remember. You got to talk to those guys. You have to convince them that this game is going to be good. Like, if something's going wrong, if you're falling behind your milestones, if you're for one reason or another, things aren't looking as great, or we promised this feature and turns out we can't do this feature, or we don't have the tech to do it, or we don't have the manpower, whatever it might be, you've got to find a way when you're talking to investors and the board of directors and people that can green light or kill your project. You got to find a way to talk to them that keeps them excited, that lets them know it's okay. The line's going to go up. The line's going up, And I think that when you get into that mindset, especially when you're developing a game for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and you've got to churn through that mindset after debilitating milestone after debilitating milestone, and you're really just kind of at a certain point, you're willing yourself, like, it's difficult to release a game. Releasing a video game is one of the most difficult things that a group of people can do. It's almost impossible. It's a minor miracle that any game gets shipped out the door. So, for that reason, I have a lot of respect even for developers of shitty games. You got to kind of will yourself past that moment, like defying everything that stands before you that says this shit's not going to work. You should just stop. You should just stop right now. I remember the moment at BioWare when we were doing our first bit of cohort testing. The development for that game was so incredibly fucking convoluted. Like, the way that each developer was developing on it in their own weird isolated server and environments, and they weren't all kept up to date with the same code that we were merging to the master branch, and so that meant that a lot of shit was breaking here and there, and there was code that was over on this shard that needed to get onto this shard, all this sort of crazy ass convoluted spaghetti that was going on, that the infrastructure team had to like make sense of. And I was QA on the infrastructure team, so I remember talking to the project manager. I remember during the first, I think it was the first or second group of cohort testing, there was all sorts of shit that was just breaking for developers. They were making edits to tools. Again, we were using a game engine that wasn't really great at what we were trying to do with it. So that meant we had to spend a lot of resources actually developing the tool itself so it could do the things that we wanted it to do. But, you know, developing on those tools, introduce bugs within those tools, which introduce bugs within features, bugs within systems. It prevented other groups from doing things. Like there may be some code in the quest builder that breaks cinematic builder. There may be some code in the cinematic builder that gets fucked up by pathfinding code that's going off all over there. They're reiterating on pathfinding in ways that they think is just fine, but they won't surface. It won't come to the surface that it's breaking other things until it gets to the QA branch, which is like way down the stream because we've got like, you know, 200 different developers all simultaneously doing their own shit. A lot of the times when it gets to that QA branch, it's just in a fucked up state. You know, there's a lot of development, iterating and fixing that goes on that branch. By the time it gets to the public, I remember saying to the guy, the producer, Lynn, we ship the cohort build. People are playing it. You know, we internally we're paying it. We're dog fooding it. I loaded up on my machine, and everything is smooth. Like I'm not used to that. I'm used to it being a fucking chaos storm. But we boot it up, and everything is smooth, and you know, runs perfect, and everything looks great, and get through the character builder, no problems, and completing quests, no problems, no bugs. And I remember saying to Lynn, like, how the fuck is any of this working? Like, how is this working? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense that like everything that we're aware of that's happening right here ends up in a state that looks good and solid and manageable. Like, I don't get it. And Lynn was like, yeah, it's weird that way. Sometimes it just works out. And that's it. That's AAA game development, you know? Like, it's a hodgepodge of shit, and somebody knows what they're doing somewhere, but you really kind of get lucky when it all somehow works out in the end. When you're in an environment like that, you have to sell what's happening. And by the way, at that point in time, we were very, very far behind in our feature set. Like we were over budget. This was a part of the second part of that story that I started about, you know, them making insane guesses on how many units we were going to be selling. I remember thinking, like, these guys are nuts. Like, I'm going home. And so I left, and I was walking through the studio because the infrastructure pit was at the very back of the studio. I was walking through the studio, and I was just looking around, and I was like, we have to have at least 700 people working here right now. Like, when I got hired here, it was like 300 people. But we staffed the fuck up heavy, so that we can actually get it shipped in the holiday time frame that we wanted to get it shipped. We were very far behind our milestones, and we just threw money at the project. We brute forced our way into hitting our release window. And as I'm walking, I'm literally, you know, hearing them talk about how many units they're going to sell and how many subscribers. And I'm thinking half, if not more, the people in here right now are all about to lose their jobs. Whether the game sells those numbers or not has no bearing on the fact that all these people here are about to get sent their pink slips, because it is just not sustainable to keep all these people here after that. And it was a weird, like, sort of cognitive dissonance moment, having those two experiences. But, you know, when you're in that mode, and sometimes the only thing that can churn you through the chaos storm is becoming like almost a zealot, like a cult-like zealot, devoted to the idea that what you're working on is a special, unique goal that the world has never seen. You could delude yourself into thinking that you have something that you don't really have, especially if the moment has passed you by. Now, I guess we were kind of fortunate that MMOs weren't completely dead by the time Star Wars The Old Republic launched. We were also fortunate that it was a Star Wars property and not an original IP, so there was already a built-in audience interested in it. But for something like Concord, if you're coming in as a hero shooter at a time when a lot of hero shooters are looking pretty stale, you know, and, you know, you're an original IP that nobody's familiar with, you know, you could delude yourself into something that isn't going to get backed up by numbers really quickly, and then you end up, you know, suffering the fate.
Fly again.
that
Recent
they ended up
favors in
suffering.
development bolstered by a reportedly believed it had the next Star Wars-esque franchise on its hands. But the game struggled significantly across both its beta testing period and launch, and was soon completely shut down by Sony just weeks after it was released, with Firewalk closed for business.
I heard that
shortly
Concord
thereafter.
wasn't that
Concord's
bad.
downfall happened faster than any other failed game of the live service era.
Don't joke about something like this.
Just a decade earlier, though, a similar disaster was plaguing Blizzard's Diablo 3. The crippling Error 37 message made the game unplayable, and fans worldwide decreed the absolute failure to launch. Soon after, the game's real money auction house left players with a foul taste in their mouth that Diablo 3's reputation was roasting in the fires. Instead of abandoning it, Blizzard repaired the game, removed the auction house, and then fundamentally upgraded and evolved it to Diablo 3 2.0 with its Reaper of Souls expansion, finally cementing its comeback as a brilliant game. It's a similar story to what we saw with CD Projekt Red's hard-fought battle to win Cyberpunk 2077 fans back after a disastrous launch. If Concord's alleged $200+ million budget had been lowered and the project direction refocused as a spark for a new universe rather than a big bang, it doesn't seem hard to believe that it could have found an audience with some Blizzard or CDPR-like shepherding from Sony. Many projects akin to Concord could be the medium-sized successes they deserve to be if not for the financial corners these publishers find themselves painted into.
Endless rage!
And really, maybe some publishers should consider steering clear of these financial quarters entirely. Gamers are beginning to wane interest in these monolithic projects. You need only look at a top-rated games of 2024 list. While 2023's award lists were littered with AAA titles from 500-strong studios, 2024's show a revitalized hunger for a smaller, more independent spirit. Arcade machine throwback UFO 50, the Metroidvania-esque Animal Well, poker roguelite Balatro, and text-based pixel art adventure The Crimson Diamond are just some of the games you'll see appearing again and again on these lists. Despite their numerous differences, they share one thing in common: a smaller, more refined experience that recalls earlier eras of gaming where marriages of mechanics and storytelling were key through technological craftiness, rather than literal country-sized game worlds. The nostalgia they create for older video game generations are central to the heart of their creation. They just want you to pick them up and have a good time. The slow but increasingly clear pivot of video game audiences to a potential indie renaissance is a clear message to publishers that if everything is bigger and bolder, who possibly has the time and energy to play more than 1 or 2 games each year?
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
That's not to undercut the difficulty in getting those independent titles made, mind you. UFO 50's Mossmouth LLC team consisted of 6 developers working over many years, while both Animal Well and The Crimson Diamond share similar stories of being crafted by solo developers, Billy Basso and Julia Minamata respectively, over several years. Even a smash hit like Lethal Company started life as a one-man band developer, Zeekers, learning to develop games on Roblox before expanding his knowledge. All of these developers put everything they had over several years of their lives into creating these games, not in pursuit of money, but because of a passion. And this is why they don't need humongous worlds or 300+ side quests to tick off. These games all feel like lean enjoyment machines. It feels like the top end of the video game industry is currently faced with 2 paths to choose from. The first is the status quo. It can continue to engorge on bigger budgets with impossibly open yet incredibly empty worlds filled with 80+ hours of content, about 10 of which have any meaning to its players, and or hopelessly pursue the live service train which left the station over 5 years ago with late passengers wondering why the money isn't rolling in anymore. These billion-dollar gambles could pay off, but it's seeming less and less likely every day. Conversely, companies could opt for a second path and take a page out of Julia Minamata, Billy Basso, and Zeekers' books, a wider breadth of projects, smaller in scope and scale, with a refined focus on gameplay mechanics and perhaps a return to older styles of video games long dormant. Projects where developers aren't afraid to make weirder choices and take some unexpected left turns lest they crash their $400 million ship into a mixed to decent reception and lackluster sales. Maybe studios, and more importantly publishers and shareholders, can remember that we used to play video games because they were fun, not because of their bigger than last year maps carpeted by denser, higher resolution grass that you walk across to finish another piece of side content that pushes you just 1 digit closer to that 100% completion.
This wasn't the plan.
No, it just wasn't the one we started with.
Speaking of which, congratulations.
Well, yeah, I mean, the problem with that is there are a shit ton of indie developers, and that market is hyper crowded right now too, and it is increasingly difficult, more and more difficult to stand out. And even if you do stand out with it, this is what EA's plan. That's what their plan was. You can have a game like the Tomb Raider 2013 game, or Hitman, or I forget the third title, those Sleeping Dogs, which I haven't played yet. You can have any one of those games sell 1 million, 2 million copies, right? And what did Square Enix say about those games? They were failures. Those games were failures to Square Enix because they only sold 1 to 2 million copies. If Cult of the Lamb or Balatro or India, Yes Your Grace, fucking King of the Castle, if they sold 1 million to 2 million, they would be runaway successes. They would be runaway successes. But they would be that because, you know, the teams are smaller, you know, the development time took a little bit less. The only way that the owners of the IP that we're interested in will ever get to that state is trust busting. Like, you're going to have to break up these companies. No more Microsoft that contains Activision, Blizzard, King, Bethesda, and whatever else they may have acquired. You know, I mean, even Activision, Blizzard, King in and of itself should be busted up. It should be Activision, which also in and of itself should be busted up. It should be Blizzard, it should be King. And then Bethesda should be busted up because Bethesda also encompasses several companies that they acquired, Arcane and whatnot. All of this consolidation is only increasing the bubble, this bubble that AAA blockbuster gaming finds itself in. And by the way, this is ultimately going to result in a lot of these games dropping at $100 price tags. You already saw Ubisoft laying the groundwork for that when they were like, oh, fucking whatever their shitty pirate game was. I forget what it's, Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is a quadruple A game. That's how we can justify the $70 price tag, even though everybody and their grandma knew that game was not worth $70. But people are going to feel that way with Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, it's got a $1 billion budget. And it's a game that everybody and their grandma wants to play. So don't be surprised when Grand Theft Auto 6 drops at like $100 price point. Elder Scrolls 6 drops at $100 price point because that's been in development for, you know, at least a decade at this point, or possibly a decade, depending on when they actually started development. I have to assume that it was sometime before that 2018 teaser dropped. We got to get to the point where $100 games are going to be a limiter to the amount of success that these companies need in order to make their money back, which that, in my view, is when the bubble will actually burst. The bubble hasn't burst yet, but I think it's coming. Like, I think it's coming. Eve being launched in 2003 kind of fits into the classic to me. Yes, Eve is a classic. I only play Eve because of the exploration and community. The game itself kind of sucks balls. I mean, I have heard that about Eve, but then I'm not, ironically, considering all the MMOs I've worked on, I'm not an MMO person. I don't think Craven looks fun. Don't really get... Oh, wait, I think Craven looks fun. Don't really get the hate for it. I'm glad you think it looks fun. I certainly don't share that opinion. Not only do I not think it looks fun, but I also, whenever I see it, I am immediately reminded, because it has the same visual vibe as Morbius, Madam Web. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be good. Why is this so fucking blown out? Wait, what? There we go. The voice acting in SWTOR was ahead of its time IMO. I feel like a lot of things in SWTOR were ahead of its time. I think that the game was excellent. I think that the game was excellent as a single player experience. I enjoyed Morbius. I didn't bother with Madam Web. I think I enjoyed Madam Web more than Morbius, honestly. I think I enjoyed Madam Web more than Morbius, honestly. Where's my... Oh, here it is. Alright, hold on, I'm coming. Oh, Vince. I think your character died. Toaster is still around. Lulu is still around.
Street Corner Becky said I just picked up a samurai katana in Cat Quest. The cat punch cracked me up. Street Corner Becky said I was old AF.
Yeah, you were old. I think you did die of old age. Next time actually, let me do that. Okay, I just activated the Twitch connectivity, so next time I get a new follower, you can jump back into the cult.
Haunted Taco 12 said there is no taco in the cult of personality.
Wait, did I just put a... No, here it is. You can hop in here too, Taco. Hey, there you are. Street Corner Becky. Yeah, Lunar Phoenix is in here too.
Haunted Taco 12 said I'm the cult of personality, the cult of personality, the cult of personality. Street Corner Becky asks, so I'm back in?
No, you're not. I was just looking at your grave. What is that band? I forget that band's name, Taco. I know the song, but I can't place the band name. Oh, this guy's old.
Street Corner Becky said, my grave.
Broken rise, I can't see. Cult of personality. Oh, that guy broke out. Where are you at, you dickhead?
Street Corner Becky said living color.
Living color, that's what it is, yes. Alright, I'm gonna make the two old people fight. I gotta get rid of my olds. I like how my pit fighting is exclusively reserved for old people. Oh, I've got a number of old people. Oh! You're gone, bud. Oh, that guy loved it. That guy loved doing a murder ritual. Private worship or communal ceremony. Belief in materialism trait. All cult members will gain a materialistic trait. Gain faith when building better sleeping quarters. Believe in false idols trait. All cult members will gain the false idol trait. Gain more faith when placing a... Okay, I want to do that one then. I need more decorations. I need more decorations anyway, so let's do that one. Warrior Curus. Should change my outfit too. Oh, I could build a crypt. All I have is the hole in the ground. I thought I built a new one of these things. Oh, I need some gems. Wait, I have the gems. I need the wooden plank things, which I think that other guy is working on. Are you going to refine? You better be going. Okay, okay. Lulu's going to do refine. I also don't know how to get my workers to work the farm fields. Let's see. How many beds do I have? It looks like a lot of them are unassigned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 21. I definitely gotta go. I'm gonna get some more followers. Oh, my guys are hungry. Let me make some food first. My guys are starving. We cook some follower stew. We just got some old man meat from that pit fight, so chow down, everyone. Go get something to eat. Eat the fish stew. Oh, come on, guy. All right, everybody's fed. That guy's taking a dump. Alright, everything looks like it's in fairly good shape. I re-educate. Oh, I already did that. Yeah, I re-educated that guy. Alright, I'm going to the woods then. Oh, everyone's going to sleep. You know what? I'm gonna get. There's a guy out here. I'm gonna get this guy first. You know what? I'm gonna hold off on going to that door for a while.
Street Corner Becky said, well, apparently I just beat the main quest in Cat Quest, level 75, saw a dungeon that's level 200, so didn't think I was near the end.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. If you want to get back into the game, here's your guy.
Street Corner Becky said, great game, would recommend.
Wait, how do I, Isn't there supposed to be an option here? I thought there was supposed to be an option here. Why don't I have the option?
Haunted Taco 12 just redeemed Jihadi Trump.
And help them
Sound alerts said Haunted Taco 12 played Jihadi Trump for 10 channel points.
I did connect. Why didn't it connect? Why isn't... Why is it not connecting?
Street Corner Becky said, on my widget still shows me as a follower.
There we go. Okay, weird. I don't know what that was all about. It says I'm signed in here. Hopefully it'll keep me signed in. Yeah, I still have my Twitch thing above the totem there. Well, that sucks. I just bought this guy. I guess I gotta find someone else.
Street Corner Becky just redeemed contribute to Cult's Totem.
Awesome, thank you. I still don't know what happens when that thing fills up. I'm not a fan of the blunderbuss.
Haunted Taco 12 said, I don't even know how to join.
I mean, I've never done it as a player. I think I should have the, I don't know. I have the widget activated. I think you have to do it when I have a new cult member that I'm indoctrinating. It'll start a raffle, and I think from there you could choose to join the game. You'll have to ask Vince. Vince, how do you actually join as a player or as a chatter? Like, why did I have to shoot that frog 3 times? Oh shit.
Street Corner Becky said
See,
on
look.
the widget top left of the screen. Street Corner Becky said then customize your character. Haunted Taco 12 said I'm on mobile.
Yeah, I don't know if the overlays work for mobile.
Street Corner Becky said may not be able to join on mobile, not sure. Haunted Taco 12 said I see the widget, but I can only see followers.
Well, let me get a character. Let me get another character, another follower for my cult, and then we'll see if you can actually join as a follower. If you could see the widget, you might be able to join as a follower. Damn it. Man, this gun sucks. Oh, it's this guy. I have to kill this guy. That's why. Why are these guys just ping-ponging? Look at that guy. He's stuck. What? That didn't kill him?
Haunted Taco 12 said Nightbot has been slacking. Everyone, just so you know, ye old nerdcast has a Discord server. Join now to keep the fun going off stream.
Thank you for picking up Nightbot slack. Oh god, another one.
Street Corner Becky sent a link. Haunted Taco 12 said.
Wait, Haunted Taco 12 said what?
Street Corner Becky said Taco put an up arrow.
Oh. Oh, you posted the Discord link. Thank you. I mean, I think Nightbot has been posting it.
Street Corner Becky said apparently the eye can't say the symbol. Street Corner Becky said it has.
Have I been to this room?
Haunted Taco 12 said the up arrow. Suki has trouble reading certain symbols.
You hear that, Suki? They're shit talking you. They're shit talking you, lady.
Street Corner Becky
Oh, look at
said
my
SPA
African American
didn't have
over
any
here.
issues
Look at
reading
him.
whatever the guy was
Are you
saying
the
on
greatest?
YouTube last
You know
week,
what I'm
dog.
talking about?
Haunted
Okay.
Taco 12 just redeemed black.
Suki, I didn't have any trouble. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever weird gibberish Bayer was posting.
Haunted Taco 12 said you're the 6th Suki.
Well, Suki knows a little bit better. She's not gonna just start reading random symbols. I trained her a little bit better than that. Okay, there's a follower right there.
Haunted Taco 12 said I'm about to brutally murder a couple and their personal bodyguards in their beach home.
Yo que mi golena. Yo que mi
Haunted Taco 12 said someone has to stop me.
You received a weapon or a curse. Oh, cool. Wait.
Yo que mi wa.
Haunted Taco 12 said I just can't stop killing.
Yo que mi wana.
That one shoots in all. That one shoots in all directions. What does this one do? Oh. Oh, I don't want this one. I want this one.
Yo que mi wana.
Damn it. Man, the second I get an option for another weapon, I'm taking it. Even if it's the dagger. Hey Vince, were you ever able to find Bangkok Dangerous? Let's see.
Street Corner Becky said not yet.
Damn.
Street Corner Becky said I have the remake.
I didn't dislike that Nick Cage version as much as a lot of other people did, but it wasn't as good. I'll admit that. It wasn't as good. Told him out of taros. I don't have a lot. I don't want that.
Street Corner Becky said I watched like 12 episodes of Coach Season 7 after you streamed last night. Lol. Nightbot
Nice.
said Ye Old Nerdcast has a Discord server. Join now to keep the fun going off stream.
There you go. There's Nightbot doing his job. I should watch Coach. I actually just got done watching this show on Hulu called Interior Chinatown. It's pretty good. I liked it. Vampiric Gauntlets. Let's go with this one. Interior Chinatown has two of my favorite comedians in it, or at least favorite comedians of recent years. It stars
Corner Becky said I watched a bit of the first season of Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. I need to watch more.
Damn it, are you kidding me? It stars Jimmy O Yang, who played Jin Yang from Silicon Valley, and Ronnie Chang. And a few other people too.
Street Corner Becky said Jimmy O Yang is fucking hilarious. I love his stand-up.
God damn, are you kidding me? Yeah, his stand-up's great. Like, I like Jimmy O Yang. So when I saw that he had a show on Hulu, I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. And I like Ronnie Chang too. Ronnie Chang's stand-up is hilarious.
Street Corner Becky said he just seems like a good dude.
Oh shit. I could really use the vampire quality of these gauntlets.
Street Corner Becky said I'll have to check out Interior Chinatown.
This bitch keeps running away from me. I feel like they also nerfed the speed of the attack on this weapon. Got him. Yeah, check out Interior Chinatown. It's really good.
Street Corner Becky said apparently the first episode was directed by Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Ain't this that there show that was directed by that Taika Waititi?
Haunted Daco 12 said dang old Daco 80.
That dang old there Taco IT. Yeah, he did that.
Street Corner Becky said I forgot to paste the last letter so it messed it up.
Do you think he's gonna say YTT if you type it in properly? What's going on with you?
Street Corner Becky said Vape it still helps me hinder help your quest. Street Corner Becky said I cleared all the waste, yay.
Where's the here it is. I'm gonna build a crypt. Just to see what it looks like. Oh, let me see if I can get you guys in here. There we go. Start raffle. Now, I think you should see an ability to join on your overlay, on your little widget. Taco?
Street Corner Becky said it tells me I've already joined.
Oh, I wonder if I have to resurrect you then.
Street Corner Becky said resurrecting the old hags.
Do I have the ability to do that? I think I do. I know that Twitch chat can resurrect dead people, but Taco, can you see if you can join right now?
Haunted Taco 12 said I clicked that I wanted to join.
Oh, there it is. Hey, there's Haunted Taco.
Haunted Taco 12 said join. Street Corner Becky said yay.
Alright, now I'm gonna put you to work in the mines. Oh yeah, there's this guy too.
Street Corner Becky said that's great that it works on mobile.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty cool.
Haunted Taco 12 said it's dark as a dungeon. Way down in the mines.
Wait, why did you stop?
The Kiwi said you're getting a prize. A Goofy Goober popsicle.
Hey, what's up, the Kiwi? Welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? Goofy Goober popsicle. I knew you could do it. You're truly divine. All right. Oh, there's another old. Damn it! How many old people do I have in here?
Haunted Taco 12 said yell 16 times. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in death. Street Corner Becky said Goofy Goober is from SpongeBob. Street Corner Becky said I unironically love that song.
Why would you ironically like it? That's a great song.
Street Corner Becky said just some people hate hold music, I guess.
They say a man ain't nothing but muscle and blood. Or something to that effect. Oh, jeez. Why can't I get any of my followers to farm? It keeps saying no task available for farming. Well, I don't get it. I have the farmhouse here and the crop
Nightbot
thing
said
here.
the old Nerdcast has a Discord server. Join now to keep the fun going off stream.
I gotta do all the damn
Street
farming
Corner
myself.
Becky said grow your own corn.
It takes too much time. I gotta gather all this devotion. Oh, this got broke. Whew, barely. Almost failed that one.
Street Corner Becky said or poop. I
Like-
forgot what we're farming.
I gotta clean up all the shit. Oh, he broke out of this one too. Get out of here, you fucking...
The Kiwi said I swear I have the weirdest video game ideas.
In a community with Maniacal Toaster in it, I'm pretty positive I've heard all of the weirdest video game ideas. What do I want to grow? Oh, my people are getting hungry again. Like, didn't I just feed you sons of bitches like 2 days ago?
Street Corner Becky asks you mean maniacal jokester?
What's this guy coming over here for? Look at how hard they got the cult leader busted his ass out here, fucking harvesting and planting and fertilizing and watering.
Haunted Taco 12 asks, do you want to know one small detail that depresses me about Starfield?
Sure, what's up? What, one? Only one? There's only one small detail that depresses you about Starfield?
Street Corner Becky asks that it sucks?
Whether I travel in the dark wood and we're separated, I never thought, oh, how do you find out? Sure, I'm always finding people in the woods.
Haunted Taco 12 said the lack of footprints is so small yet so immersion breaking.
Footprints. Oh, god damn it, Trier. Where are you? Footprints. I guess I never noticed that the game doesn't have footprints. Oh, there's another old person. You people.
Haunted Taco 12 said it's very small, but there's none.
That breaks immersion for you?
Haunted Taco 12 said something that's been in games for 20 years.
I guess I never really noticed. I don't really... Come on, move out of the way. I don't really stare at my feet very often.
Yeah, LM asks, yo, what are you playing?
Yo, what's up, Yell M? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing well tonight. I am playing Cult of the Lamb. Okay, I have a few more burial plots there. I wish I could take this guy behind the chapel and kill him. Maybe I'll sacrifice him. Where are you at, you ancient son of a bitch? Oh, there you are.
Street Corner Becky said I actually don't really agree with Arachnid that modding will save Starfield down the line. Maybe a few people will bother, but it's lack of legs now. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I think a lot of people have taken the modder community for granted with Bethesda. And I think in years past when Bethesda was only like a handful of studios, one of a handful of studios that can make robust, enjoyable, moddable games. I think there's probably too many competition.
It's such a shame.
There's too much competition now for them to get away with
Corner
that.
Becky said most big modders do it out of love. I just don't see the love for Starfield. Yeah, LM said I just noticed your cat.
Oh, yeah, she's sitting over here.
Street Corner Becky said Yolda 6th Suki.
Like, they're gonna need to have. I mean, it could happen for Starfield if they had a Phantom Liberty type reboot. Like, Phantom Liberty really changed the public perception around Cyberpunk, and that helped bring a lot of people back around to it. And that's what it's gonna take for Starfield. Like, Shattered Space clearly wasn't enough. It's a harvest totem.
Street Corner Becky said I kinda wanted the expansion for Elite Dangerous, then said fuck it, nah.
I don't know what Elite Dangerous is. I'm bummed out that I missed out on the sale of those Tomb Raider games, though. They're back to full price now. There's a lot of gruel bowls over there still. People not want to eat it? What's going on here?
Street Corner Becky said it's a space game where you control
Oh,
a
they ate
ship.
it.
The expansion makes it to where you can land on planets and walk around. Most hardcore players play it with a HOTAS flight stick. Street Corner Becky said I could never figure it out on a mouse and keyboard or controller.
Oh, I have to build the first one. space game. Oh yeah, Jalal is a night owl. At least somebody can help me. Okay, now let me upgrade it. Oh, this is gonna take forever. You know what? You work on that. I'm gonna start building the stone one. What do I need here? Oh, I need some more stones. There we go. I guess I should do a sermon. I don't need to do a ritual. Okay, watering that shit is done.
Street Corner Becky said Eve's winter event starts tomorrow. Gonna farm that like crazy.
What happens for the winter event? Oh. Maid dress. Another one.
Street Corner Becky said just runs for a month. Dungeons I mainly just do ones you have to scan down and not get shot at by NPCs. Free cosmetics you can find, boosters for skills, etc. Street Corner Becky said but can sell most items in game for a tidy profit.
What? I just thought I wanted everything. What? I didn't say anything. You little meowing bitch.
Street Corner Becky said also winter event in Star Trek Online. Free event to unlock a ship from Star Trek Picard.
Oh, nice. I need to rewatch Picard. I really liked season 3. Didn't care. Like, season 1, I thought was
Street Corner
awful.
Becky said season 3 was peak new track.
Season 2 was also awful, but the ending of season 2 was phenomenal. Like, literally brought tears to my eyes. So season 2 is worth it just for that alone. But season 3 was damn near flawless. I mean, it had flaws, don't get me wrong. There was some stuff about it I didn't care
Corner
for.
Becky asks I enjoyed the end of season 2, but they ripped away the transwarp conduit. Like what happens to that?
Oh, shit. Get away. Okay, good. It didn't hurt me. Oh, there was a guy in there? I have you now. You are nothing but a leader of lies spinning a web of deceit. I will show the others the truth,
Street
the cult
Corner
will
Becky
crumble, and I
said
will watch
the
it
new
fall.
Borg Queen. Thought that was great. Big Alice and Pill fan. Maniacal Toaster just redeemed contribute to Cult's Totem.
Why is this guy mad at me? Oh. Fuck, what do you think? What do you got? Where'd you guys come from? Alright, I gotta deal with this guy.
Haunted Daco 12 said Ye Old Nerdcast has a Discord server. Join now to keep the fun going off stream.
You know, Nightbot has
Haunted
been
Daco
doing
12
that.
just redeemed Send Cult follower message.
If you were on screen, you would have seen your character say those words. Man, that rogue follower guy really fucked me up. At least I got a diseased heart. Let's see. Let's go this way. Maybe that's what they should do in Starfield. Maybe somebody should make a Star Trek mod in Starfield. TOS mod, Deep Space Nine.
Street Corner Becky said to play it, a Voyager mod.
Yeah, I'm not a Voyager fan. I like the holodoc from Voyager. But that's about it.
Street Corner Becky said I like Voyager because it's the one I got to see the most as a kid. TNG ended when I was 10, and my dad didn't really watch Deep Space Nine.
Fair enough, I get that. Oh, that was Jalala's bag. Okay, cool. I completed a quest. I get that. I understand that. I definitely watched more TNG as a kid than I did anything else. I didn't watch Deep Space Nine as a kid. I tried, I just couldn't get into it. I actually bought the original series on Blu-ray because all the streaming services that have the original series now.
Becky said Deep Space Nine's best episodes happened between season 4 and 6.
All of the streaming services that have the original series now, they all do the CGI effects. They all have the really crappy looking CGI spaceships and stuff. And I didn't want that. I wanted to see the original effects. So I had to get the Blu-rays for that. Sell his sword. Bane hammer. Damn it. Oh, they got out of the way.
Street Corner Becky said I only really enjoy maybe 5 or 6 original series episodes. Street Corner Becky said but love half their movies. Nightbox said Ye Old Nerdcast has a Discord server. Join now to keep the fun going off stream.
I only really enjoy maybe 5 or 6 original series episodes. I mean, there were a few that I liked. I guess I don't know the number, But there were a few that I liked. Come on! Why can't I hit this fucking guy? Got him. Asshole. I need those gold nuggets. Wake up, I got your shit.
ka na. Ayan, siya lang ba? Oh.
You have unlocked bonus comic pages. Read them in the main menu. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. Barbados leveled up thanks to Twitch chat. Oh, shit. Oh, my guys are hungry again. Oh, they're all going to bed. Damn, that was a lot. Okay. Well, you know what? My cult's in a pretty good shape, right? Oh God, everything needs to be harvested. I have all these hops, but I haven't built the beer joint yet. What's keeping me? I'm running out of manure too. What the fuck? I was never on short supply of that stuff.
Yeah, LM said I am going to sleep. Good night, bro. See you next time.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Oh, that made the pumpkin grow out of the way. Have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna go to bed myself too as soon as I'm done tending to my farmlands. Okay, I think that's everything there. Oh, these guys are going nuts. Let me, I'm gonna do a, we're gonna have a feast. Let's do a sermon while we're at it. Alright, everyone's well fed, the community is clean. Oh, Jesus, these things popped up? I just did all my farming. Oh, I'm out of fertilizer.
Who
in the hell does he think he
just
is?
redeemed Who does he
Who
think
does he think he is?
Sound Alerts said Haunted Taco 12 played Who Does He Think He Is for 10 channel points.
Alright, there's no fertilizer there. And there's none here. Man, these guys are just like, I think everybody's constipated. My entire cult are all stopped up. Alright, well, that's where I'm gonna end this for tonight. Oh, man. Oh.
Street Corner Becky asks streaming tomorrow or wait till Saturday?
I should be streaming tomorrow. I think I'm gonna stream tomorrow. It's Thursday. What's the Thursday night game even? I'll be able to check that out. The Packers and the Lions. Oh, that's gonna be a good one tomorrow.
Haunted Taco 12 said Thursday night Halle Berry Catwoman game.
You've been mentioning that for a little while recently now.
Street Corner Becky
Did you just?
said Lions should smoke him.
I don't know. The Packers. I mean, division games are never gimmies, and the Packers are good. Did you just play this game recently or something? It's not on.
Haunted Taco 12 said it's really bad.
It's not on Steam, so I don't know. If it's nowhere, I could easily it's easily accessible to me.
Haunted Taco 12 said nah. I just meme about that game in Superman 64.
Oh, okay.
Street Corner Becky said Packers lost to them at home this season and this is in Detroit. We'll see. Street Corner Becky said Superman 64 is one of the worst games ever made. Haunted Taco 12 said notoriously bad games.
It is on Windows. Yeah, Superman 64 is like a famously bad game. But I think Catwoman probably was a little more under the radar.
Street Corner Becky said out of print games you can't buy you can usually find on my abandonware website. Haunted Taco 12 said probably because the movie is bad enough lol.
GOG has been really flaky on me lately. Connection to community service was lost and could not be restored. GOG Galaxy will shut down now. Okay, well, cool. Thank you for that, you son of a bitch. I can't even use the goddamn thing anymore. What's going on with GOG? It crashes. It's crashed the last couple times. I think I tried to buy a game on it a couple nights ago, and it crashed on me. I can't even remember what game I was trying to buy. Like, they're costing people money here. I couldn't even remember what game I was trying to buy, so I can't go back and buy it now. Even though it just crashed on me, I literally can't buy it anyways.
Street Corner Becky said that one game Dark something.
Oh, Dark Reign. Dark Reign. Yeah.
Ninja Turtles in Hero Wars.
Wait, what the fuck?
The legendary RPG Hero Wars welcomes new heroes to the battlefield.
Oh my god, why are you so loud? Chill.
EA Games.
Challenge.
Oh, the trailer isn't even gameplay. It's just a CGI, really bad CGI of Catwoman. How much are they charging for this? Oh, they aren't even selling it. It's just on
12 said
here.
it's bad. Street Corner Becky asks the GOG Galaxy app isn't working for you on PC?
According to the reviews on this, Taco, it's a 71 out of 100. But it's not for sale anyways, it looks like. How on earth do I have these? Okay, I have games on my owned game list on GOG that I do not recall ever. They must have put these on here on their own. Cause I have, what is this? I have Beneath a Steel Sky. I have no idea what the fuck that is. I have Legacy of Kain. I did buy that one. Dragon Sphere. What is Dragon Sphere?
Street Corner Becky said the Catwoman game is on my abandonware if you want me to DM you a link. Michael Toaster said good stream, good job.
I'm not that interested.
Haunted Taco 12 said Bovictus.
Thank you, Toaster. I appreciate that. Dragon Sphere. Okay, I may have to explore these games a little because some of these actually look.
Haunted Taco 12 said Vevictus.
Vevictus. Okay, what is Steel Sky?
Ninja Turtles in Hero
Oh,
Wars.
shut up.
The legendary RPG Hero Wars welcomes new heroes to the battle.
What the fuck? They linked like a whole playthrough?
Like it? It is not just
Oh my god.
It is a passion.
Hey, I think I'm in the wrong commercial.
It's crap, son.
Oh, is this like a point and click adventure game?
Street Corner Becky said that ad is kinda funny.
And then Dragon Sphere. This looks cool. It's like a Old school RPG. Oh, this looks like a point and click adventure game too. I don't recall adding any of these games. These ones I have on Unreal. I got these for free on Unreal. I don't know why it's on GOG.
Street Corner Becky said that reminds me of King's Quest.
Treasure adventure game. Okay. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean
Street
to.
Corner Becky said, oh, remember to grab the free stuff on Epic.
What is this, Tyrion? Tyrion 2000? What the fuck is Tyrion 2000?
Street Corner Becky said, just remembered myself, lol.
Oh, it's a shmup. That's interesting. Ultima 4? I've never played any of the Ultima games. Oh man, that looks like shit. But I guess the visuals weren't the point, huh? Oh man, this looks like
Becky
shit.
said the Lego Star Wars game is fun and that bus driver simulator could be fun.
What the fuck is Warsaw? Oh, I remember this game. I remember Warsaw. Is this an Aspire game? I feel like... Oh man, I feel like I played this. So many years ago. It's released in 2012. I feel like I played this before. And then another Ultima game, World of Ultima, The Savage Empire. I don't know why I have all of these. You know what? I must have bought Legacy of Kain, and they're like, hey, this guy likes Legacy of Kain. Let's give him all of these related ones for free. What? So I only paid $1.30 for Legacy of Kain. I guess in December of 2013, I didn't even know that I knew that GOG was a thing in 2013. But apparently in December of 2013, I picked up the Fallouts for free, and then I picked up all of these for free. What's in my cart? Oh, is this Dark Rain? Oh, it's Gun.
Street Corner Becky said back when people still called it good old games.
I gotta sit on Gun for a bit. I don't know if I want to spend that money right now. Brotato. Oh, the bus driver one isn't available yet. It should be free. Oh, it should be free today. Is this something I need to relaunch the Epic Game Store for? It says free December 5th. Maybe it's just later today. Ah, well, I'll check back later today, I guess. I will be streaming later, so can do that. All right. I lied. The bus driver at Lego Game is tomorrow. Just Brotato at the moment. Nope, I think it starts at like 10 a.m. or something. Brotato looks hilariously stupid. I'll just check it when I stream tomorrow, but I will be streaming tomorrow / later today. I'll be back, but not until later. So hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Hope to see you again tomorrow. I'll be streaming. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe more Mad Max. We'll see. Maybe some Bus Simulator. Who knows? But if I don't, then I'll catch you when I'll catch you. Take it easy, everybody.